Welcome, folks, to Wednesday Night Modern. It's a warm one here in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, at the Nerd Rage Gaming storefront, and we are in Week 10 of our Modern League. My name is Haviva Goodman, alongside Dominic Stryker. How you doing tonight, Dom?
I am absolutely pumped. Welcome to week number 10. We are in the home
I was
stretch.
about to say the same thing. We're ready to give out some good prize money soon. We have 12 weeks total in Week 10, so these players are playing for a good chunk of change. As we see here, Valerie is sitting at number 8, which is the lowest spot to get paid out. We're paying out to top 8, and then Erman is clawing for a spot back in that top 8 there.
But on top of, 8th and 10th in our leaderboard, we have Valerie on the new hotness, Espergorio, kind of popularized by Young Dingo a couple of weeks ago and took off. Won, I believe, multiple RCs in different countries, as well as taking like second place, winning challenges. Like Espergorio has taken off because everyone seems to forgot the graveyard existed. And Aramon is on tried and true Yawgmoth.
Speaking of graveyards.
Yeah, I think they've played this every single week of the league. And many, many, many people believe with the recent violent outburst banning on Monday, Yogg is top dog. Number 1 in the metagame is most likely Yawgmoth, probably followed by Amulet, but Amulet's really difficult and hard to play around here. But the Yogg players, they've been yogging.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't count a Rhinos deck out yet either. I mean, there were so many iterations of Rhinos. It really needed to get taken down a peg, but it's still got a lot of its core components in the deck. Valerie used to be on Rhinos, is now trying out this new hot deck. Maybe she'll try Rhinos again next week. We'll see how that goes here. Erman mulliganing down to 4
Yeah,
in game 1 here.
You saw the kind look on Valerie's face of like ooh, I'm so sorry.
I feel bad. I want everyone to have fun. I want to, have some actual Magic gameplay here. Yawgmoth, wouldn't count out. They do have some card advantage in their deck.
Yeah.
So a multi-4. I mean, there's other decks obviously that can multi-4 a lot better than Yawgmoth, but
if you're Airmon, you're looking for like land, dork, grist, and you'll figure it out later.
Exactly. Yeah.
And on top of that, as the Yawgmoth decks have started to like change and adapt lately, one thing a lot of people have noticed, Orcish Bowmasters, not that great anymore. Bowmasters kind of just good at killing other Bowmasters. I've seen Yogg starting to shave them, getting cards like some are trying Scavenging Ooze. Can you imagine you're Goryo's opponent? You just play against round 1, game 1 Scavenging Ooze?
Absolutely. For those unaware, can you talk a little bit about the strategy of a Goryo's deck?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Goryo's Vengeance, brand new back to Modern. This was popular maybe a year ago and is just coming back. The main card, as you see in the name Goryo, stands for Goryo's Vengeance. It's a 1 in a black instant that says you can return a legend from your graveyard to play. It gains haste, but at your end step, you have to exile it. So, starts with all upside and gets quickly to downside, as Airmon starts with Delighted Halfling.
Big upside, though. I was taking a look at the deck list there, and there are some big legendary creatures that Valerie's looking to reanimate.
Right. At a minimum, you start with 4 Atraxa, who's got a heck of an ETB, right? That's the whole plan, is if you can just sneak Atraxa into play and gain their ETB and draw 4, 5, 6 cards and get a hasted 7/7 lifelinker, that's all sounds great. But if you find cards like Ephemerate or Touch the Spirit Realm, both of which are in Valerie's deck, you can just flicker them and then just keep your big fatty.
Absolutely, yeah. A huge life point swing with a 7/7 lifelink. That's a 14-point difference on your opponent, as well as against Yawgmoth. That deck does not have flyers. So
No.
very easily going to be uncontested there. There is some creature removal in the deck. But yeah, that creature on its own is going to be a lot to deal with.
And one of the parts of the Yawgmoth deck is Yawgmoth as a deck as a whole truly utilizes your life total as a resource concept. Yawgmoth literally takes a point of life for every activation. So if you dome your Yawgmoth opponent for 7 damage, that's also 7 cards they don't get to draw. When they're trying to play like that mid-range plan, they're trying to like grind to find combo pieces. 7 less cards is a lot when you're trying to draw up.
Absolutely, really good points there. Just setting up on these initial turns here, Erman started off with a Delighted Halfling into an Orcish Bowmaster. Valerie setting up, binning a Force of Negation with her Surveil land there.
The Undercity Sewers.
Undercity Sewers, absolutely, out of Karlov there. I'm really digging. I really want to shout out. I try not to because I want to focus on the gameplay, but these Secret Layer sleeves are so stinking cool to me. I love this art a ton. as we see her begin to cast a spell here. This will be a Philology Archaeologist.
So Philology will look at the top 3 when it enters the battlefield. You can take a non-creature, non-land. So we're seeing a big whiff here as we hit Archaeologist, Grief, Solitude.
Non-creature, non-land, yeah.
Right. So in this situation, we get a free 1/4. An incredible blocker when you're playing against a Yawgmoth opponent. One of the things is, I said before, you using cards like Ephemerate and Touch the Spirit Realm to keep your Atraxa. You can also use that with the Griefs, Solitudes, and Archaeologists in your deck to dig or interact. So one of the things is Philology Archaeologist plus Ephemerate does a really good dig through time impression. You just look at the top 3, take a card, rebound it, look through the top 3, take a card, while the rest of them go to the graveyard. So it's a really good engine to find your Gorios while putting the Atraxa in the bin.
Absolutely. As opposed to dig through time, you actually get a creature for your trouble as well there, which is nice against these creatures. Irman's got on the side of his field. He's got a young wolf now to join the party there. The Orcish Bowmaster disappeared at some point. I believe it got blocked by the archaeologist here.
Yeah, Irman just, we're stuck on 1 through the course of this game. Our Halfling is our only place to get a second point of mana, but we're not finding that. We're just trying to push. But what's happening is Valerie is getting time, but now we have a Bowmaster in response to the Tainted Indulgence, which was looking to draw 2 cards. It will, but you're going to take 2 damage now.
Absolutely, yeah. Just trying to push through damage here. Irman very low on resources due to that Multifor. Has Valerie down to 12 still, which is pretty good. About halfway there. And this Orc army is growing pretty large as well, up to 4 counters on that.
Right, that's the important part of getting this trigger to happen again from another card, is the Orc is now at 4 power, which is specifically enough to allow us to start attacking through the 1/4 Philology Archaeologist.
We'll see this Tainted Indulgence resolve here. What are we looking to grab with this?
Well, we have an Atraxa in our hand. I'm staring at Valerie's Atraxa, and I think they're just debating what card they want to discard, but I sure believe that that's Atraxa hitting the bin.
You would think so. That's generally the best target to reanimate. There's also Grizzlebrands in the deck as well, and then those elementals you mentioned too.
Yep. A part of this Goryo's deck is I treat it like I treat Legacy Reanimator, which is if I need to spend a lot of life and I don't have a lot of life, I'm going to look towards Atraxa. And if I have a lot of life total to work with, that's when I'm looking to put Grizzlebrand in, spend that life to get cards. Atraxa kind of always has 4 to 5 cards, but can't do the raw advantage that Grizzlebrand can. So when you're at 12, paying 7 life down to 5 against Yogg that is trying to be aggressive no matter what could be very difficult. Whereas Atraxa being your 7/7 lifelinker, that works just the same.
Yeah, it stands to mention that this was a deck before Atraxa was printed. Grizzlebrand was the card that kind of held this deck on its back, and now it's gotten even stronger with this Atraxa in the deck list as well, as we do see the Atraxa hit the bin there from the Tainted Indulgence.
I think that's where Atraxa likes to be. People keep putting Atraxa into play, but I think she loves being in the graveyard.
Eventually she comes out to play. That's the goal.
And the most incredible part is Goryo's Vengeance sounds like a sorcery. That's an instant.
Yeah.
So if Valerie, looks like we have not a lot going on, we have our 3 mana. 3 mana is the exact amount to instant speed cast Goryo's, find Ephemerate or have one in hand already, and then cast the Ephemerate. That could be 2 Atraxa triggers plus keeping it to attack on your turn.
All right, we'll go to attacks here. Valerie's down to 8. Still a place you can stabilize from.
And you see here, we're going to interact on end step. Now that Orc Army, like I said, with 4 power could attack through the Archaeologist. Here's the end step Goryo's Vengeance. It's time for my Queen Atraxa Grand Unifier to come into play. You look at the top 10. Take 1 of each card type. An unbelievable amount of cards. Now, in this deck, it's primarily creatures, lands, instants. You've got a little touch of enchantments with your Touch the Spirit Realms.
And no battles.
no battles to be seen in quite some time.
Or planeswalkers too. You could grab here as well.
So most likely we have a couple of sorceries floating through the deck with cards like Thoughtseize and Prismatic Ending. Instant, creature, and land are your slam dunk 3 that you're guaranteed to find. We've immediately picked an Ephemerate. That's the one you want because now our Hallowed Fountain that we left up, we can now Ephemerate this Atraxa, gain another Atraxa trigger, keep it because it's no longer being tracked by the Goryo's Vengeance. And then if you really want, the Ephemerate's going to rebound.
Yeah.
You could get a 3rd Atraxa in your upkeep, or you could rebound on your Archaeologist and start beating down with the Atraxa.
I was about to say, I feel like one Atraxa is usually enough to get you there.
Mhm.
2 has got to get you there. If it's not, I think you're doing
Right.
something wrong. So 3 seems like overkill here. We've been talking a little bit about what Valerie needs to do to get back into this game, but now the tides have turned a little bit. She's got this big Atraxa in play. What can Herman do to take this game home?
You need to hope that Valerie's cards catch on fire.
Oh, gosh.
Because in addition to what happened, we also grabbed a Solitude off that in addition to a white card. So even if they weren't locked and loaded, they are now. We're going to be able to use this Ephemerate to be able to keep the Atraxa.
Yeah.
In the Solitude we have, because we're going to go up to 15 points of life off the Atraxa attack, the Solitude is our insurance policy that if you draw a Yawgmoth and somehow find a way to cast it, or in this scenario now, right, we're clearly courting for something.
There we go. Yeah, I was about to say, we only have two mana available technically with the halfling and the 1 lamb, but Cord is a very nice thing there with the Convoke. Trying to look. I don't think I have an exact deck list for Herman. He has played the same thing every week, so perhaps I can look at his one he submitted a little while ago. I don't know if it's been updated for stuff like Pick Your Poison or that kind of thing, or the Surveil lands he probably has in there now.
Valerie responding here with the Solitude, removing the Young Wolf. So making sure, even though Herman's doing a small Cord, making sure that if there's a card that you're not prepared for, that you make sure you remove one of the 2 combo pieces. Herman here finding a Delighted Halfling, right? Being so behind just trying to get mana while Valerie's putting the 7/7 Atraxa into play.
I've been there before. Sometimes you need to tutor for a Soul Ring. Like, I get it.
But now we see Valerie here plays the Ephemerate. So now we're going to look at the top 10 again. Grab all the goodies from there. The power of this deck is you're finding tons of like Solitudes and other spells that could be cast for free, like your Force of Negations. You're going to find a lot of interaction that's locked and loaded and ready to go. But remember, this is Herman's end step. Valerie's about to untap on their own turn and have all of these resources and their Atraxa.
Yep. Lots of good choices here. There's another Atraxa we can grab.
We get a free Thoughtseize off this. We get an Ephemerate. The land of your choice. Fetch land sounds good because we have, I think, 4 Surveil lands in this deck. So all of your fetch lands read Surveil 1 on them.
I'm seeing a Underground Mortuary.
That's Yogg. You're looking at Yogg.
Oh, I am looking at. I am. Sorry. Undercity Sewers, Shadowy Backstreet, Meticulous Archive, and a Hedge Maze.
Yeah, the full 4.
One of each.
And now, remember, all that happened. It's now Valerie's turn. All the riches, all the spoils from their Atraxa. The choice now on their Ephemerate, very likely to go to this Philagi, just get 1 more card goodie. And then we're getting in with this huge Atraxa.
Shove her forward. Big life point swing here. We'll go to 15 to 11 in Valerie's favor. Second main here. We'll cast some spells. I applaud Herman's commitments to playing it out here.
Herman had a Cord, but the Thoughtseize we saw off the Atraxa takes that away. The hard part is Herman empty-handed. Valerie went up 8 or so cards on that end step.
Yeah.
Has their turn now to use these resources. Plays out a Hedge Maze. Herman has a draw step before they're very close to just dying to the Atraxa.
Yeah, I think there is something to be said. It's not just, being a good sport, but you also want to get as much information as you can. This deck seems very powerful. Yogg might not have too many resources to deal with it, so you want to see exactly, like, you obviously can understand the basic game plan, Goryo's Vengeance, grab something big out of the graveyard, so you know where you want to attack, but you also want to see the glue that holds it together.
Yes. All right, as we see Herman drawing a Wall of Roots and scooping it up, but it's important, like you were just saying, we got Thoughtseize on that last turn, we saw them pick up a Grief, we saw cards like Solitude. It starts to tell you when you now get to go to sideboarding, what piece of interaction are you looking for? Maybe you weren't that interested in Veil of Summer 2 turns ago, but then you got Thoughtseize and you saw a Grief, and you're like, okay, maybe I do need these, on top of seeing just the mountain of cards that they drew there at the end.
Absolutely, yeah. It took Valerie a couple of turns to get going there, but with those Ephemerates, Thoughtseizes, the Elementals, you can be out of this game a lot quicker than turn 3.
And I want to speak to the powers of the Goryo's deck, right? That was turn 2, Tainted Indulgence, draw 2, drop my Atraxa. Turn 3, Goryo's my Atraxa, Ephemerated. Turn 4, put the squeeze on you. Turn 5, kill you.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
All of that is contained in an Esper kind of flicker control strat. So we're now looking at Herman's sideboard and trying to figure out what cards we're after. Top 2 here, 2 copies of Endurance.
Yeah.
My opponent is a graveyard-based reanimation strategy. I'm looking at my Endurances. There's a Magus of the Moon. Possible if you see how greedy the mana base was out of your opponent. If you feel that it's worth it to you, they're everything but red.
I was about to say, yeah, they can't cast any of their spells. You know, Tainted Indulgence doesn't have any generic mana in it even.
No.
Atraxa's got several pips. I mean, you're not casting the Atraxa, but yeah, lots
Right.
of things with multiple colors, multicolored pips there.
Yeah, there's a Necroplasm. This is your anti-Rhinos tool, so we won't be bringing this in. Rexage, if you're a Yawgmoth player, you should bring in Rexage in literally every matchup until they prove to you Curse Totem doesn't exist. So I'm guarantee we're probably bringing that in. 2 copies of Veil of Summer. Like I said, we saw a lot of that black interaction at the end of the game that it might be worthwhile just to help you kind of get through the early to mid game. And you can expect possibly some forms of black removal, maybe something like a Terra Sunder. What's interesting about Terra Sunder is it has the like early game of it can only interact with artifacts and enchantments, but once you kick it, you can hit anything. This might be one of your few answers to a resolved Atraxa or resolved Grizzlebrand. So if you're feeling the need to really go that deep, you do have the option to weather the storm. This is the Adam Weiss burn tech.
I was about to mention those, yep.
Not needed here. Force of Vigor, our opponent had no artifacts and enchantments, right? Even the Touch the Spirit Realm, that's basically playing as an ephemerate, not an O-ring, so no need there. And Chalice is not for this matchup. So we're looking at these 2 Endurances, these 2 Veils, Rexage, and maybe Terra Sunder, maybe Magus, depending on just how deep you want to go on making sure that you can stop them while you set yourself up.
Sounds like a good game plan. Let's check out Valerie's deck list as well. This is her full 75. She submitted it earlier today, and you can check them out in our Discord if you want later on. So let's take a look at this sideboard here. If we could just get a correction on her name spelling, I believe she's got an E at the end of her name.
Oh, perfect. Very good. We'll make sure of that.
But we'll take a look at this sideboard here. We've got 3 Subtleties, 2 Prismatic Endings, 2 Thoughtseize, 2 Dams, 2 Get Lost, 2 Force Negations, and 2 Cursed Totems.
All right. Easy.
Speaking of.
Easy peasy. 3 Subtleties. Subtlety you're going to see a lot in the meta for the next couple of weeks, today, so forth, because Subtlety has Yawgmoth and Amulet, Primeval Titan's name on it, right?
Yeah.
Subtlety is here to make sure you don't lose those cards. So in a matchup like this, if you have the card, this is where you want it. Prismatic Ending exiles cards, right? So this is very important for dealing with early Undying threats. If you see a Blood Artist, if maybe someone like a Scavenging Ooze, whatever could pop up, Prismatic Ending is a lot of your catch-all. So if you want to catch it all, you need to bring it in.
For sure.
And then these Cursed Totems, they have Yawgmoth's name on it, right? This is just for this matchup. And if you're really feeling the pressure of this deck, which you might be, you can bring in your Dams and quite literally wrath the whole board if you feel the need.
I don't know if we feel too much pressure. Yeah, obviously, I got to keep mentioning the multi-4 in game 1 there. So
Yes.
But as it stands, the Yawgmoth deck was still able to put a lot of pressure on the Goryo deck there. So it depends, like you said, how much pressure you're feeling, how much faith you have in your sideboard and your main board plan, and that kind of thing. Cursed Totems, yeah. Gotta say, we see it in every deck list in feature. So that's the easy include, and then the question is, what else are we going to bring in there?
Right, like a card like Dam allows, if Valerie wants, especially being on the draw in game 2, to take a more controlling role, to just have your Solitudes and Subtleties and say, these have Yawgmoth's name on it, and have Dam and say, this is for literally everyone else, right? And a part of this is because you are an Esper Shell, you can do that, right? You have Flagey Archaeologist, a creature to sit around. You have Grief and Solitude to figure it out. You have Prismatic Endings. You can loot through your deck with your Tainted Indulgence, Faithful Mendings. So you have the ability to kind of sit back, play a little more controlling role, not to the extent of like playing counter spells, but to the extent of whatever you do, I'm going to be ready for. You can see Valerie has these Force of Negations. You get those out of there. You bring in these Cursed Totems, but then you can kind of flavor the taste with something like Solitude, Subtleties, Prismatic Endings. Damn. You have the option, if you want to take a much more controlling role, knowing that you will have a better endgame if they have nothing in play.
Well said. Yeah, we'll get back down to the action here as players are shuffling up. Look like it's Valerie's
turn
to do some mulliganing here. So we shuffle up. Airmon will be on the play once again for game 2 here since Valerie won game 1.
And I will say the Goryo's deck feels like one that can mulligan very well because you have so many of those draw 2 discards in your deck. You can kind of keep maybe a 6 that's a little land heavy just to make sure you can cast spells, and then one of those looting spells, and you'll just find everything else later. Whereas in a lot of decks, sometimes mulliganing can be hard because you need to put a lot of pieces together. This deck's looking to kind of just interact and put 2 cards together.
Yeah, it's a 2-card combo, right? It's Goryo's and a target, right? I guess a way to get it into the grave.
Right, and thankfully a lot of your decks starting to do that part for you.
We'll see what players decide to keep here. Airmon's still staring at his starting 7 here as well. Oh, he mulliganed to 6-2,
Yeah,
so
6s all around. Valerie, it looks like we're keeping a land-heavy hand with a prismatic ending. And Airmon, I saw at least a Veil of Summer in there. So a lot of these thoughts are coming to fruition for the two of them.
yeah, absolutely. All right, there's the tuck, and we'll start our game here. It's good to be back in the studio. We missed last week since
Yeah,
I was off on a work trip,
yeah.
so
Somebody had to go to a cool convention.
I've been trying not to brag about it too much. I feel so important.
Hey, that's what life's all about. Do the fun stuff.
Yeah, no, it was very cool, but I'm definitely glad to be back at the store, hanging out with all the good people here and bringing you guys good content at home. If you're enjoying it, make sure to hit that follow button. If you're feeling super generous, hit the subscribe button or donate to our charity of choice. Currently, we are raising money for the Greater Chicago Food Depository. We just had an incredible charity stream last Saturday. We raised over $2,000 for charity. Really proud of the Pokemon team. They absolutely crushed it, and that donation link is still open. So if you're feeling generous, be sure to check that out.
All I gotta say is everybody gotta eat. Be a part of making sure that can happen.
Everybody do gotta eat.
Everybody gotta eat.
Yeah.
Speaking of eating, surveillance. These things are incredible.
I was waiting for like a Soul Cauldron reference
I
or
wish.
something. Maybe it feels like that one works a little bit better.
But all these surveillance, they really eat, if you know what I mean. And what we see is Valerie has kind of the turn 1 as a free moment in their deck, right? They have Thought Season, they have Prismatic Ending, but you don't always need to play those on turn 1. Sometimes you can't even or don't even want to. So it's such a free early turn to just mill a card over. You're noticing this. We first saw it in Rhinos, which you'll continue to see it in the new versions of Rhinos.
Yeah.
That there are a lot of free turns where you use 2 of your mana, but not the 3rd. Where you use 3 of it, not the 4th. When you're just like top decking lands and all they are is fetch lands. They have text now. That text is Surveil 1, which is incredible. And it's even more incredible when you're a deck like Goryo's looking to put a card into your graveyard. You have 6 targets that want to be in there so bad.
I was gonna say a lot of combo decks like Indomitable Creativity, right? You don't want to see that Archon on top, right? You want to find that when you cast the card. But with the Goryo's deck, if you see that on top with the Surveil land, you're like,
get in there.
Heck
right.
yeah.
Because
I've just saved myself a step.
The turn 1 Surveil land could, if you really wanted to and felt the need, could get you the perfect snap to get one of those big fatties in the yard for the turn 2 Goryo's attack with the creature.
Yeah.
Again, whether it's Grizzlebrand or Atraxa, huge life swing, huge swath of cards. Both of those things sound great.
Yeah, absolutely. Big bodies on those cards. They swing for a lot of damage.
And we see on Airmon, we saw the classic pass with 2 mana, I have nothing to do. It felt like a Bowmaster.
It did indeed.
But it was a turn 2 fetch land that became a Surveil land. And with this Tainted Indulgence, I imagine if we had Bowmaster, we would have snapped it off, which means instead we're looking to play a longer game and using this to make sure that we draw the cards that we need, especially in Yawgmoth where you got a lot of mana dorks, a lot of fluff. You can mill those right over on this turn.
Absolutely. You said that Airmon might be looking to play a little bit of a longer game here. I don't know if that's the best plan. Sometimes that's just what the cards give you, but it feels like he definitely needs to be the aggressor in this matchup. Eventually, you're going to have to deal with a Gristlebrand or an Atraxa, and you're going to really struggle to win the game once those hit the field. We saw just a Solitude go into the bin, though, off the Tainted Indulgence, so I don't think there's anything too scary in Valerie's hand right now, so Airmon can probably take this time to get a little pressure on the field here. We'll see a Grist come down, mill over a Yawgmoth. A little interesting.
Remember, I mean, we're in a Soul Cauldron world now, so Yawgmoth also as a deck incentivized to put these cards into your graveyard, whether it's through Grist or through your Surveil lands. You just put them in the soup.
Yep. Speaking of eating.
Yeah, the soup.
Put them in the soup.
And what I meant when I say like Airmon's looking to play a long game, it makes me feel like, oh, you drew like Grist, Veil of Summer, Endurance, and you're like, okay, I'm going to interact for a little bit. I'm going to like grind through these turns and then start playing stuff out, hard casting Endurance instead of trying to evoke it. But if both of you are starting to play the who's going to blink first game, at least you snuck a Grist into play.
For sure, yeah. We'll see this Prismatic ending come down, though.
I think we're making sure that we pay the full 3 colors for the Grist.
Oh, for
so
sure.
we're just checking it here. Yep, paying all 3, getting that Grist out of here.
There we go. Well, we still got an insect. We got a clock.
Right? It'll at least start doing something. And that's the part that's kind of the joy of Grist is it demands attention, and no matter what, will leave something behind or have taken something with it in the form of its removal spell mode.
Absolutely. We'll get to the quintessential 4 mana for a Yawgmoth deck.
Look who it is.
Oh,
Shieldred.
there we
Shieldred.
go. The other good 4-drop.
Yeah, this is the card that if I said, hey, I'm looking to play like a grindy game with Yawgmoth, I want to draw Shieldred.
Absolutely.
She'll just put the pressure on, make your draw steps more difficult for you, make
Mhm.
all of these draw twos in your deck far more difficult for you.
Makes Grizzlebrand a lot worse.
Your Grizzlebrand, you take 7, and then you draw 7, and you take 14, so you
14.
take 21 off your Grizzlebrand activation.
Yeah. Makes makes that a little bit harder there. You can't half activate a
Yeah.
Grizzlebrand.
Yeah. If it was just pay 1 life, draw 1 card,
Ooh,
busted.
that card would be even more more insane. Oh gosh.
Because I would hit that button over and over again, but hitting the draw 7 is a difficult one. As we see, it looks like Valerie has drawn a Solitude and has a Philagi. An important part about the Philagi Archaeologist effect, that one's not a drawing effect, and at least can get you a body into play so you can contest with this bug, this little insect token coming after you.
Yeah, no, it's actually the best keyword, I would say. It's mill it. You mill the cards and then grab something back out of the grave.
Including this Gorios. So it's face up to Aramon that a Gorios exists, but it looks like Valerie immediately picks up this Ephemerate as their choice.
Interesting. Do you think she's got a Gorios in hand then?
It might be because there's no fat in the yard.
I mean, there's a Solitude.
Gorios can only get legends. Quite literally only a legend.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay.
So
all right.
Gorios is at least kind of gated in that way. Where you can only get a Traxxon and Grizzlebrand.
For sure. Okay.
So if there's no fatty in the yard, the Ephemerate just reads trigger Philagi Archaeologist again. But if we get tricky, we could block the Shieldred and then flicker it, and then it also says that we get to absorb a lot of damage in combat as well.
Ephemerate's a sorcery, though?
Nah, big instant on that
one. Oh, that makes sense.
Because that's a part of the Gorios engine is trying to end step. Gorios at instant speed, Ephemerate instant speed, keep this and all these cards.
For sure. I don't know if you saw the artist online, I think it's Living MTG, that does the Paddington altars. He just did Ephemerate like yesterday, I want to say, with the lion being
they do a
the
lot
Paddington
of good stuff.
face. It's really nice.
I believe they did Grizzlebrand at one point, which is even a throwback to when Star City Games did a version of Grizzlebrand as a bear.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Because there was Grizzly Brand way back in the day.
Right. They did like the Tassipur and like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So we see here, right, so this Shieldred's going to try to get into combat here. Aramon is kind of not forced, but like you want to apply this pressure no matter what.
I think so.
But if Valerie wants to play the most tricky if we can here, including seeing a basically tapped out Aramon as we played a Wall of Roots, activate our Wall of Roots, is this Philagi plus Ephemerate could be an easy blocker, or we can just Solitude it out of here too.
Save us some damage there.
And you can do the scam thing if you want, and we could Ephemerate the Solitude while it's still in play.
Right, we've seen Luke do that. He used to play Orzhov Scam.
That's the secret of this Esper Gorios deck, is you're so scared of it being Gorios, it's also Scam. It has Grief, Solitude, and 4 copies of Ephemerate, and 2 Touch the Spirit Realms. This deck is still Scam, but instead of going Fable of the Mirrorbreaker on 3, it goes Atraxa on 3. Now, it's much easier to interact with cards like Solitude, Surgical, any sort of graveyard interaction. But if you just leave them be, their plan is much bigger.
Their plan B is really good.
And as we see, that looks to be what's happened here. We're doing this Solitude, and we got to remove Wall of Roots, Shieldred, and then block the insect. We cleared that whole combat.
We're basically back to square one. We have the Grist back. But yeah, the clear field besides that lone insect there.
But Valerie now, because Ephemerate is busted, is going to rebound their Ephemerate, can target this Philagi Archaeologist, and dig 3 cards deeper for more impactful spells.
Yeah, we'll see what we get here. Taking a look at what's in our graveyard currently. Couple of lands.
Because what's also important is we've seen Tainted Indulgence so far from Valerie, but their other draw 2 effect is Faithful Mending, which is the reverse of Faithless Looting. The draw 2, discard 2, gain 2 life.
Midnight Hunt, yeah.
And it has flashback. So if you see Valerie checking their graveyard, it could be also trying to see if I have the card with flashback, because you can still respond to your Ephemerate trigger or whatever with trying to do that. Instead, we're seeing here a Faithful Mending. We can grab the Indulgence, mill the Mending, and now it's available as a flashback effect. Philagi Archaeologist is incredible, and nobody knows it.
You've been singing its praises for a little bit. We've seen it on stream a couple of times. I think with, was it like an Asmo deck? I think
That
had
sounds
it.
so sick.
I can't remember what other deck had Phalagi Archaeologist
I
in
think you're
it.
thinking Saren Steelseeker for Asmo, but it's these like little Brothers War commons that people don't know about
Yeah.
that are the cards that put in a lot of work. Because I played this Goryo's deck until it just got like hated out like the 6 months ago or whatever.
hmm
And Phalagi Archaeologist is like the unsung hero of just like digging you 6, 9, 12 cards into your deck. You're gonna find what you're looking for, as long as it's a spell.
Yeah, it seems pretty good here. We'll bin a land off the Tainted Indulgence, I believe.
So Watery Grave, no need. And now we have this Solitude. Your options are block with your lone creature in play, or let your Yawgmoth take 3 damage, or your Grist. I'm sorry.
hmm Knock Grist down. Their life totals at 23 to 19 due to some Solitude effects here.
Yeah. So the thing is also, like I said, Phalagi Archaeologist, because if it finds a card, it does not get a counter,
hmm
but it's still an 0/3. That blocks insects, Bowmasters, Ragavans, a lot of early game threats. A 0/3 on turn 2 is hard to get through. Earlier, Valerie had a 1/4, even harder for most decks to try to fight through.
For sure.
So even though Airmon's amassing these bugs, they're not going to get through anytime soon. So your best bet is to just like hope that we can find a Yawgmoth, because we can at least snack on some of these insects and try to kill off this Solitude.
Absolutely, yeah. We were talking about plan A's and plan B's earlier. Yogg kind of goes back and forth. I don't know if I would call one over the other combo versus beatdown plan A. It kind of depends. I think they're both kind of plan A. It's just like whatever one you
Right.
get to first. I think the combo kill with like the Blood Artist Zulaport Cutthroat is more what Airmon is
Mm-hmm.
probably hoping to do here. The beatdown seems a little bit rough at this
Right.
point.
So as Airmon's playing out this Yawgmoth, it kind of is the script we just said. It's like, all right, you
Mhm.
can at least maybe try to snack on some of these insects and kill off this Solitude.
Especially with this added life from the Solitude.
Yeah,
We're at
there's a lot to
23.
get
We
through.
got a lot of resources.
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying
have a
because
lot of.
the Yawgmoth activations hurt us. So with the extra few life there from the shoulder that got
Mhm.
solituded, we can, if we find some undying creatures, because these insects are good for just one activation.
Yes.
But if we can find some better fuel for the fire there, perhaps we can dig a little deeper.
And one of the thoughts, like the theory of Yawgmoth, they're just saying like, what's Plan A? I think the sign of a good like creature aggro combo deck
hmm
is when the combo doesn't have to be Plan A,
Yeah.
and the fact that you can just be like this good grindy Golgari creature deck that every now and just go like, oops, hit the I win button, as opposed to trying to be the I win button first and a scrappy creature deck second.
Right.
As they got more and more tools like Soul Cauldron and Bowmaster, as these things get added into the format, it allows your plan A to just be a good Golgari deck and just have that button whenever you're ready.
Absolutely. Well said there. I've been looking at Agatha's Soul Cauldron a little bit in Standard. I've been playing Merfolk. And there is a sort of combo-esque Merfolk build because there's the Deep Root Pilgrimage and an Untapper.
Oh,
that
I
you
remember I
can...
bought those cards because like, oh, there's a
Mhm,
combo deck
mhm.
here.
And then I started getting into like Agatha's Soul Cauldron, and you can do that stuff. And I was like, oh, I think I'm brewing. I'm getting a little too spicy here.
Truly
think I-
lost in the sauce.
Yeah, yeah. I was just
In the soup.
rummaging through Scryfall for hours on end at night. And then I was like, I think I'm gonna dial it back a little bit, go back to my creature deck, my aggro deck with some counter spells in it. That seems spicy enough for me.
As we see Valerie here playing Meticulous Archive, surveilling for the 3rd time this game.
hmm
I think each time surveilling a card away, being like, I truly don't need this. Now having access to this ephemerate and either digging deeper in their deck or answering these threats, Airmon looks to be targeting this Solitude, so it looks to be where we were thinking to go with this.
We're gonna make use of this Yawgmoth before the Solitude resolves there. Grab some cards, go down to 21. See, he put him right down on the table. I want to see what he got there.
Yeah.
We'll see a glimpse in a second, perhaps.
So very importantly, one thing, if I'm Airmon and I'm scrapping through this game,
hmm
an important part is Valerie has milled over a lot of their deck. You can learn a lot about sideboarding decisions. For example, when they're fanning through, I saw that Dam was in fact brought in,
Oh, for sure.
which lets you know that Valerie has that plan on their mind to just Wrath of God you, which might make me feel the need to keep more aggressive hands than the hands that we may have kept this game. But the later and later in this game that we go, and Valerie has so few cards, and we've dealt with their board, we very easily can kick back down this door and get into this game.
I think so. I think as soon as we get some creatures, because we did throw the insects into the Yawgmoth activated ability there. As soon as we grow this board a little bit more, passing back without playing a single thing here. We didn't even
Yes.
activate the Grist, I
There's
don't think.
you have a lot of mana to work with.
Okay, all right. I was about to say, I feel like we should grow our board a little bit there. We didn't even activate the Grist. I mean, we have instant speed stuff, but at least the Planeswalker, I think, maybe would be prudent there.
As we see,
Ooh,
and the curse
ooh,
revealing so much info, and just
ooh.
now, interestingly, this Flagi can grab this totem.
You can indeed.
It is a non-creature,
I
non-land.
think it'd be a good idea to grab that card.
And again, I'm gonna sing the praises of these archaeologists. It makes your sideboard cards better
Yeah.
because you find them so much more often, right? That's the
That's
difference.
the thing with sideboard cards, right? Usually not bringing in a full 4.
No, you bring in 2.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have a card like Flagi allows you to dig like 3, 6, 9, 12. Again, the numbers on this card deep to find your impactful sideboard cards. It's kind of like if you play Pioneer and you play against Is It Phoenix, when they bring sideboard cards in and they have 12 cantrips in their deck, they
Yeah.
find them, right? They find these cards every game.
They do.
This deck can act very similarly and just find cards. So we see Airmon responding to the Curse Totem by putting our Orc Army into play, just getting our stuff, getting ready to go.
I was interested. I thought maybe he was doing it in response to the Curse Totem to maybe throw the Orc Army into the Yawgmoth, but he didn't opt to go for that there. Ooh.
Hard cast Leyline of the Void.
Very nice. That's the great thing about a Yawgmoth deck. You can just play that card if you
Right.
don't get it in your opening hand.
And Valerie has not found any fat in their deck yet, right? We have not found the Grizzlebrands or the Atraxos. And so this Leyline being played on turn 1,000,000 is still going to matter. It is going to stop any card from going into the graveyard.
Right. It
So-
doesn't get rid of the stuff already there, though. Correct?
Yeah, but there aren't any there.
I mean, yeah, not the stuff we want to Goryo's. The Faithless Mending, I think, might have
Yep.
already been flashback as well, so there truly isn't. Okay, yeah. That's,
Yeah,
that's
the
a pretty good card.
The sideboard cards came to play on turn 1,000,000 into this game, but both incredibly relevant because your opponents were digging for the thing you just found the answer for.
Right.
Valerie wanted to get something into the graveyard, start getting the engine going, and Aramon was just starting to use Yawgmoth activations, and both found those immediate hate pieces.
I think Airmon's got the better plan B here in that his Yawgmoth can no longer be activated, but he does just have this beatdown plan.
And
Valerie.
the secret text on Yawgmoth is this protection from humans. These two archaeologists do have one downside,
Oh!
and they humans. So
Little niche interaction there.
we can rumble in the jungle just a little here with this
All right.
Yawgmoth, no problem.
We do have enough mana to hardcast either Griefs or Solitudes here as well, and I think I see a Subtlety in her hand too. So we do
Yep.
have some blockers.
Yeah,
We
the
do have some
subtlety-
creatures we can throw in front of this mass of creatures.
Subtlety's here. It looks like a no target subtlety. Just apply
Yeah.
pressure, right? Get your 3/3 flyer. Why I love subtlety into play. But Airmon's been leaving up a
Ooh.
lot of mana every turn.
Solitude is the draw for play on Valerie's side.
Very helpful because if we have a solitude and we enter this Yawgmoth, the solitude and subtlety are the biggest things going on.
Yeah.
But Grist has entered Wii U ultimate range.
I was waiting. That's why I was so disappointed that he didn't uptick the Grist earlier, because I was like, you gotta pump those numbers up, dude.
While we also hardcast in this grief, so Airmon,
Ooh.
we have this veil I think we've been holding since turn 1 of this game. Finally cashing this in.
Finally got a payoff there, so doesn't lose a card. Valerie hardcast the Grief, though, so she does still get a creature for her troubles.
Get him with the subtlety and taking it off the Grist, a beautiful play.
I think
Noticing
that's really
the
solid.
same thing.
Yeah.
We love a Grist alt around here, but Valerie I'm sure does not. So taking it down, putting it down just to 2 now.
Indeed, and like I said earlier, Yawgmoth does not have any. I mean, they do have endurance with reach, but besides that, no way to block any flyers. So that subtlety does some good work there. We'll minus the Grist for the rest of her loyalty to clean up that subtlety.
Which is the clear sign of I drew another Grist.
You think?
Yeah. I also did see it.
Oh,
But
for sure.
the self-sacrifice my Grist, especially after Valerie's already played out their subtlety. Subtlety a good answer to Grist because Grist is a creature on the stack,
Right.
as well as being a planeswalker everywhere.
Yeah.
So now we just have these 2 Flagis. I'll have to let Airmon know later that Yawg could just be rumbling. It seems so unintuitive to know that you're Pro-human is the line you never read on your
For
Yawgmoth.
sure, yeah. He's still got a lot of life to chug through as well. Valerie had a full 20.
What I might recommend is moving towards Yawgmoth's third ability. Start discarding some cards and proliferating. Get this
Oh,
Orc army a little bigger, pump your grist up a little bit.
sure,
Because
sure.
the biggest thing in play right now is these O3s. There's a Secret Solitude maybe coming soon,
We'll see, we'll see.
but I'm kind of ready to switch modes. If I'm drawing a Mana Dork, the Mana Dorks are becoming 1/1 counters.
Right. Just waiting for this Agatha Soul Cauldron to make an appearance as well. I feel like he plays a good number of them.
The thing with the Cauldron is it will allow us to get access to the 1/1 counters, which interacts really well with Yawgmoth's ability. But we got to remember this pesky Curse Totem. We can eat the
right.
soup, but we can't gain its power yet.
We can still gain counters from the soup though,
Yep.
right?
So that's the best part is if we do draw a Cauldron, we could put a counter on the Bowmaster. We could put a counter on Yawgmoth. Then when we activate Yawg, everything can get an extra counter from the Proliferate.
As soon as we deal with the totem.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, I know. We're so good at
This
forgetting.
dang totem.
We're so good at forgetting totems, even though they come up like a lot.
Get in there, Yawg. We've read it. We know that it's. We know that. No, we know it's pro-human. We know.
It's not pro elemental though.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
It'd be so bad. That'd be oh my god.
MH3 answer to MH2 is pro-elemental creatures.
Tell me the lore. What's Yogg doing? He's like, man, I gotta.
We could get a Nissa with pro-elementals because she's like all about that.
That makes a little more thematic sense.
Or like a Chandra with pro-elemental. She's like, they can't burn me. We're homies.
Specifically red elementals.
Yeah, protect them from red elemental.
Oh gosh, what a type line.
Oh, interesting. So I think Valerie just played out our Odawara. Odawara as a land drop is hard because you're like, the effect of this is so good. But if you see the last card in Valerie's hand, it's Atraxa.
It's Atraxa, and
Odawara's land drop 6.
It's very close.
So the debate, right, of do I want this as a land drop, or do I want this?
Oh, I don't know. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think we milled over an endurance with the grist.
Yeah, we did.
I think we still have one more in the side there that I would assume brought in, but that's. I mean, we already have the Leyline of the Void, but an endurance would be great against this Atraxa that might come down in a second here and fly.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, Valerie is in an advantageous position now where every top deck is good. If it's a land, you're casting your Atraxa. And if it's a spell, you're casting it.
Here comes another Hardcast Grief and another Veil.
Valerie feeling it there.
Yeah, that's a devastating counter.
But I promise, having a 3/2 menace in play, still partially worthwhile
it's not bad. Airmon's just got a lot of little guys. It blocks.
It blocks. It's a delighted halfling.
Growing the board ever more slightly.
Yeah, Ermon's also kind of on a hunt for another Beseiju. They're on the hunt for their Rexage. The Soulless Jailer.
All right. There's another sideboard card. We'll get that one pulled up real quick.
Yeah, this card, I believe, specifically was a Rhino's tool, but also has text about the graveyard and allowing it to show up a little bit impactful here. Permanent cards in graveyards cannot enter the battlefield. That means you cannot sneak out your girl from the yard. You cannot bring a Grizzlebrand in. Because the part before was players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyard or exile. That would mean if your Crashing Footfall was an exile, you can't cast it. So this card was initially a card to lock down those Cascade strats, but the first line of text also locks down graveyard strategies.
Yep, seems like a pretty good card in this scenario here. Again, another guy on the board, gumming it up even more.
And an important part of the Jailer, that this may come up later, is Jailer is symmetrical. It applies to both players. This means if at any time a Young Wolf tries to undie, it won't be able to.
Oh.
Because the permanent in the graveyard can't enter play.
That's a really good point.
But I think the card is so powerful, and Yawgmoth plays so fewer undying creatures nowadays as it's trimmed down on them.
Oh, really?
Because it's just the 4 Young Wolves and maybe a Strangleroot, right? We're not like the full 8 anymore.
Okay.
It allows you the ability to play a card like this. This is kind of a Nombo, but so powerful against your opponent. As I see Valerie makes a 7th land drop.
Oh, boy.
What could it be?
Yeah, the Soulless Jailer doesn't do anything about creatures. We just play from our hand.
Let me just play it. So
like I said, I don't think it's good for this game to go too long for Airmon.
Airmon's out is that we're out of fetchables. We've milled over a lot of our deck. We have a lot of our mana producing sources in play. We got an island. We're good to go.
Okay.
Right? But that's the terrifying part. And usually, sometimes in a game like this, it's worthwhile to check your graveyard, like just be sure.
Hmm.
We went right in, and I was like, uh-oh. Or if you're like only remaining with a surveil land, you're like, oh, it's the tap land.
Oh gosh, yeah.
The cards do have downside. They do
Mhm.
enter tapped, but I promise they're good.
They're really good. They're really, really good.
As we see just this grief, these two archaeologists, solitudes, the biggest things going on. One little curse totem, but a Leyline of the Void on the other side.
All
And we're
right.
getting the 7th source. We're going to combat first, letting Aramon think everything's okay. What could the last card in your hand be? Why did you need a 7th mana untapped? Why did you crack your fetch land?
All right. Airmon debating on blocks here.
Yeah, throw a bunch in front of it, right? I
I
could
don't
give away
know.
2 insects.
We'll see. We'll see.
Wow.
All right. We'll let all the damage go through and chuck this grist into the bin.
Interesting, because if we had blocked the 2 insects, we would have got 1 back from keeping this grist. So we wouldn't even have,
Mhm.
like, lost that much overall in the exchange. But now big 7, big Atraxa.
Yeah. Airmon didn't seem too surprised there.
No. A Bowmaster. Just get it out there.
Sure.
your
Yeah.
thing.
Atraxa does not draw. It just puts cards into hand.
No.
But we'll see what gets flipped over here. Chatter asking, do we have any players headed to the Hunter Burton Memorial?
Open.
Open is what it's
Yeah,
called?
I believe
Yeah.
it's in Texas. We're in the Midwest. It's very difficult for a lot of our locals. But if any folks out there in chat are going, it's an incredible event.
I've heard really good things about it. Yeah, Texas a little bit far for us there. But we wish luck to everyone playing in it.
Valerie, we can see making these beautiful piles, right? We've got our creature pile, our sorcery pile, our land pile, and our instant pile. Looks like we're grabbing that dam. We're going to clean up this whole battlefield next turn if we want.
Oh man.
Grabbing that shadowy back streak. Backstreet's back, all right. And then maybe, I think a Goryo is our only instant here, so that's just a free Goryo.
Yeah, it doesn't really do too much.
And I might grab one of these Atraxas because I'll just hard cast it again next time.
Exactly, yeah. If
Or taking
Airmon
the
finds a
grief.
way to deal with an Atraxa, just have backup Atraxa. All right, grabbing all of our stuff there. We'll put the rest
Ended.
into exile.
Yeah, under the bottom.
Oh, on the bottom.
They go
Oh,
on the
excuse me. Oh, that's
you
better.
can, you can save those
That's
toys
much
for later.
better. Okay.
I resolved a lot of Atraxas. I love this card.
I have not resolved a single Atraxa.
Oh, you should try it. It's a heck of a drug.
I've been thinking about it. I saw someone selling a full set of Albion.
Don't say it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, well, that's a lot of the cards I need for a Bant Toxic deck.
Oh, yeah.
And then also
yeah, she's
just
in there.
pick up pick up Atraxas while I'm
She'd
there.
be in there. That's a good point. Aramon. Oh, to see an Atraxa, to see a Cursed Totem, to know that there's a board wipe waiting.
Turn it all sideways. Alpha Strike.
Well,
it.
that's a free 7 off this Atraxa blocking.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. How about second Leyline of the Void? How about second Delighted Halfling?
Okay. We're fully hellbent now.
Yep. Yep.
No Yawgmoth, and even if we did,
Nope.
there's a curse totem.
We didn't draw up a Seiju. We didn't pick up our Rex Sage.
This is
Oh.
a pickle.
Oh, sending it back into the big force of creatures. These two Philogis. This big Atraxa. Solitude, Grief. Big rips here.
Big rips here. I think we've had.
right. Yeah, for Valerie, they're all going to be some good big rips.
Yeah.
Shadowy Backstreet's back. Keeping that on top. Just a little more.
Sure.
Just
Great,
Just a
good.
little more, yeah.
Fantastic. You have another card that's
yep,
good for
great.
you.
Another good card. Sounds good to me. I'm your opponent. Sounds fine. I see this. I love Atraxa doing the little boop, like shoving it forward, like this has
Yep.
a vigilance. There's something about on an empty board, because I play in Reanimator and there's like no permanents, just like shoving it forward, like she's here to play.
All right, we'll block optimally here. Trade with both the Grief and the Solitude. Got to take the full 7 from the Flying Atraxa. We'll swing 31 points of life
Yeah.
gain. Or points total, excuse
Yeah,
me. 10
Valerie.
points of life gain from the Solitude and the Atraxa there. Down to 13 on Airmon's side of the field.
For Valerie, just to have a board wipe. No need to cast it. I have
Yeah.
Atraxa. I'm doing fine.
Play
You've got
more creatures into it. Come on.
you've got these little guys.
2 Bowmasters is pretty good, I would say. Not drawing too many cards anymore, though.
No, and that's the thing. When this Goryo's deck like first started, it was using cards like Preordain, like like really moving through the deck. I think they just grabbed more of the looting effects. The Pelagiarca is like fully caught on. People are just like playing the full 4 of these and removed the card that said draw a card on it and just made Bowmasters a little worse. It made Bowmaster a little worse and a little worse.
Yep, yep. I guess, yeah, you were saying at the beginning of this match that Bowmaster is going a little bit by the wayside,
It's,
and I was pretty shocked to hear that, but I guess I'm seeing it
it's
here.
kind of poopy.
It was, I mean, the Orc Army we made blocked
Right.
the grief.
The best part is it makes 2 bodies, and
Yeah.
that second body can grow over time.
Ooh, Curse Totem off the top there was the
Mm,
card we kept on
mm.
top from the Shadowy Backstreet.
So important, right? Your out is answer your curse totem.
Yeah.
Well, just have the backup one now ready to go. I would not play it out because you don't want to play into Force of Vigor. Force of Vigor eat both of them. Valerie does not. Throws it back to Aramon. And that's the game.
All right, in 2, Valerie takes down Erman. The 8th seed takes down the 10th seed, advances to 1-0 in our 10th week of our Modern League. Well played by both of our players there. A lot to overcome on the Yawgmoth side of the field.
Yeah, a
Goryo's
slog.
deck just overcoming quickly and then eventually in game 2 there. I think our backup match is done. We were going to have our first seed on, but they play really fast over there. So instead, we're going to head into a quick ad here. If you'd like to pick up any of the pieces you just saw from either the decks that you saw in our feature match or one of the thousands of other cards we have in inventory, head on over to nerdragegaming.com. We have so many cards that we would love to get into your hands. You can schedule for in-store pickup, series pickup, or ship countrywide. We would love to get them into your hands. We got coupon codes out there for you to find, and we'd love to get them into your hands. If we don't have a card in inventory that you'd like to have, add it to your wish list and get notified right away when we list it, because we're listing more cards every day. With that being said, we're going to head into a quick break. Stay tuned.
See y'all soon.
What's up, gamers? We're in round 2 of our Modern League here at the Nerd Rage Gaming storefront. It's a pleasure to have you back. We got it going for you here. 2 heavy hitters at the store, Marty and Alex, number 3 and 5 on our leaderboard, respectively. Marty is playing Rhinos. Let's talk
All right,
about
yep.
the B&R this Monday.
Okay, I'll talk about it. We're going to see their whole hand. All right. Important changes that have happened to the Rhinos deck. Change number 1, with the banning of Violent Outburst, Teamer Rhinos is dead. You can't play Teamer Rhinos. You can't play a tempo deck without having the instant speed cascade.
Okay.
Teamer is dead. Long live 5-color. So Marty, you can see these 2 Scion of Dracos. The Rhinos deck is now base Bant, so it's green, white, and blue, because your Cascaders are 4 Shardless Agent, 4 Ardent Plea. If you haven't seen Ardent Plea, it's 1 blue, white. Cascade,
Exalted.
Enchanted, Exalted, right? It's an
Yeah.
enchantment that is Exalted, which does come up. When you're putting Scions in play, Subtleties in play, your Flyer is getting a little +1. Not bad. So you see Marty here's grabbing a Xander's Lounge. We're most likely going to grab Temple Guard and slam a turn 2 Scion. But the Rhino strategy is no longer a tempo deck. It is a 5-color, like, shove damage down your throat deck. It is, I'm going to play my Scion, I'm going to play some Rhinos, then I'm going to play 2 Scions, or I'm going to play a Subtlety, or I'm going to play a Solitude, and I'm just going to, like, shove large amounts of damage until you give up.
Yeah, absolutely. The Rhinos deck has proven to be very adaptable in that we've seen 2 to 3 different iterations of it already in the metagame. And Violent Outburst, I think, needed to go, right?
Yep.
Instant Speed Rhino's just too good.
And,
but you can see it's not dead.
No. The backbone is Violent Outburst at instant speed, good. Violent Outburst at instant speed with free Force of Negation to back it up, cracked.
Yeah.
This way, they're very clear what their intent was to diminish the strategy but not delete it.
I think that's the goal with every BNR, right? You never want to nuke a deck from orbit,
Yeah.
right?
Unless you hit a Hogak, right? That's cool. We get it.
That was an oops.
Yes.
That was a Watsy oopsie. We're so sorry for that one summer.
I will say, though, as Marty's slaying their second Scion, that Violent Outburst was played in, I'll say, 4 overall decks. 5 if you're feeling wild. But it was Domain Rhinos, Teamer Rhinos, Living End, Glimpse decks,
Oh,
and
I see.
restore balance decks, right? If you want to get really down there.
Okay.
There are 2 decks where the instant speed of Violent Outburst was very important.
Yeah.
That's in Living End, because instant speed, Plague Wind, plus put tons of power in play, incredibly powerful. And Teamer, allowing you to hold up Tidebinder, Violent Outburst, Force of Negation, like being able to hold up all these impactful 3s and then do what works best for you, allowed you to play a true tempo deck. Teamer, dead.
Yeah.
Living
according to you.
End, Living End. If you ask the Living End folks, Gonzo. Living End deleted.
The one Living End player I know, Zoe Ruderman, says she's pivoting.
Yeah, Zoe says picking a new trick. Shout out to Zoe, big fan, said has to pick a new trick. If Zoe says it, I believe it.
I do as well.
And you are right now seeing, as Alex puts the One Ring into play, Marty's board is Scion, and a Footfalls eventually. All of this feels very familiar. This is basically LSV's deck from the Pro Tour. You just don't get instant speed. Your mana is skewed a little more. You don't really need the red sources now. So sometimes you're playing some Fire Ices as maybe your only red card.
Ooh.
You got to cast this
We'll see
Leyline.
a hard cast Leyline of the Guild Pack. Still a very important card, even if you don't get it in your pre-game effects.
Well, these Scions now got all the abilities. They're turned on now. They have all the effects.
Alex, let's talk about his deck a little bit. Mono Black Coffers has been the one he's been favoring most of the weeks in our league here. It's played it to good effect. We don't see any Coffers yet, just 5 matching Swamps. Looking very nice there. I'll take a look at his deck list as well and see exactly what he's working with.
When I played Coffers, we deemed this deck Eyeliner Tron or like Mono Black Tron, where this deck is looking to assemble big mana. Their version of Tron is assembling Urborg Cabal Coffers.
Alex's name for it on Mockfield is
right?
Swamptron.
But the thing that's so important is you get early game Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, like all this interaction with your opponent, while slowly putting it together, and then a big burst that allows you to play cards like the One Ring, Shieldred, and now Karn the Great Creator. But the thing about this deck is, if you give it time, like we're seeing here, it can just curve out and cast these cards.
Absolutely, yeah. The One Ring, of course, is going to give us a fog effect for a second here, so it'll prevent some loss of life there. We're at 14 to 13 at life totals. And we'll see in Alex's sideboard here, we've got Tormod's Crypt, Relic of Progenitus, Cursed Totem, Liquid Metal Coating, Ratchet Bomb, Stonebrain, Crucible of Worlds. Can we grab Citadel? It's just artifact, right?
We can indeed.
Okay, Wormcoil Engine, Emrakul Collective Brutality, and Dothy Voidwalker for the non-grabbables.
We have grabbed our Wormcoil Engine.
All right.
Wormcoil has
it
been
doesn't fly, though.
It does not fly, but it will at least allow you to like kind of get some life total back, as we see one Scion kill off this Karn, and the rest try to kill off Alex. Alex's life total is diminishing quickly.
Yeah, he's at 9. Marty now has lifelink on his Scions as well, so he's up to 22. Yeah, you see that ley line there, Four Dogs. You are correct.
Full rainbow rhinos. Teamer is dead. Long live rhinos.
Yep. Oh, and for the chatter looking for deck lists in chat, join our Discord. That's where you can find them all.
Man, if I'm Alex, you're staring down 8 power. You grabbed a Wormcoil, but you're not going to have enough time for that Wormcoil to actually enter combat and gain you some life.
Right. I feel like, what would have been the grab otherwise? I don't think.
No, this Karn board's smaller and more specific, and unfortunately these targets are not where you want to be once everything's already in play. There's nothing like an O-Stone or anything ready to like get you out of this.
Yeah, Ratchet Bomb, I mean, those Scions are 12.
They're 12s.
We played them for 2. But they got a big 12 written on them. We'll play out the Wormcoil here.
But we're at 7. We're DOB. But okay, the dead on board has been answered by this Shieldred's Edict.
There we go. There we go.
Marty, a lot of life to play with. I wonder, if we have Solitude in hand, we can go get a white source here, flash in the Solitude, sacrifice the Solitude, the Shieldred's Edict, and then still have the kill.
Ooh, interesting. I dig that.
And we're moving quick. Because Solitude says
up
to 1.
What mode did he pick? What if he picked... Oh, I'm thinking pick your poison. I was thinking, what if you picked artifact?
This is just a sacrifice. Thankfully, we picked correctly with sacrifice creature, as opposed to the non-token creature or the planeswalker clause.
Right.
But this does give us a turn reprieve, so I lied. Our Wormcoil might just be able to get in.
Yeah, 6 points of life gain is pretty good. We're facing down 8 points of swing, so it changes our clock a little bit, but substantially.
Right. At least our life total can go up a little. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the first part here.
Mm-hmm.
But this ring's also gonna ding us 3 more
Ooh, I
damage.
see a. Oh no,
Oh wait,
March of Wretched
March
Sorrow.
of Wretched Sorrows, but we have no target because this Scion is hexproof.
Oh,
And
oh,
we're
what
about
else could we do? We have 3
we're gonna die to our
edicts.
ring. We're gonna die to our ring.
No.
We're at exactly
He
3.
plays Damnation proper in the deck. We could do that.
We're at 3. This ring's about to kill us. We're
Oh
because the 4 damage from the Scion plus this 3 from the ring is looming.
no. Oh gosh. We could cast Cling to Dust and gain 3 life.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Well, what's interesting is Marty has now cascaded into these rhinos. We have target for our march.
Oh, there you go. That gains you
No,
life.
no, we don't, because they have hexproof as well, because this stinking ley
Oh,
line.
you lied to me.
I mean, okay, I don't. But there's
You
the cling.
misled me.
You did. They had the cling.
Oh, let's go.
Oh my.
Just
Alex,
barely. Just barely.
Alex.
We're doing it.
Yeah, I mean we're clinging a life. We're going down to 2 in our upkeep.
Oh man.
We're down
Rhinos
to 3.
is still a scary deck.
Because
My
it's so much
goodness.
power.
Yeah.
Right? If you can just go Scion into 2 4/4s every game, you
He's
apply
digging
so
deeper
much
with
pressure.
the ring. I guess he got it at
You
this
got
point.
it, yeah. Because you know this worm coil is going to hit, but your best bet is find another ring.
I was about to say, yeah, ring or second ring would be the best hit here. Ooh, we do find a Cabal Coffers as well, so we have a ton of mana to work with. Yeah, March you can only send at creatures. So
Yeah, but importantly, Marty.
or planeswalkers technically, but
Oh, okay. Oh, and on top of all of this, if we can't figure it out this turn, the rhinos we suspended 4 turns ago is going to come off suspend, add 8 more power to play.
they don't have haste though.
No, they don't. That's true. They sure don't. But we
That would be
need
pretty
to
good.
put a lot of
He's
pieces
got
together.
2 marches in his hand. It'd be so good.
I think I'm going to target my own worm coil at this point. Because of these scions, the rhinos have first strike. So if you try to get in with this
Oh.
worm coil, they're just gonna block, eat it up with the first strike damage, and won't even get to gain any life.
Well, the worm coil's a 6/6.
You just
So
put 2 rhinos in front, give it first strike, it'll never do anything, and they'll gain 8 life from it.
Oh right, yeah, because we'll be dead before we go to second strike.
Yes, we'll never even make it to strike. So if I'm Alex, I am very likely to march my own worm coil.
Does he just need a better rhinos target in his Karn board?
No, he has it because the ratchet bomb cleans up all the rhinos. The issue is we had to deal with 2 scions. The rhinos aren't the problem.
I see, yeah. Yeah, the scion does seem pretty troublesome.
So we dealt with 1 scion. The problem is the second scion.
Yeah, for sure. I see Alex just flipping through his cards over and over again. Like maybe we'll find an answer in here. Oh, the Shoulder's Edict.
Yeah, but it's just gonna lose
Sure.
a rhino. I would have got rid of a Shardless agent, so Marty even feeling like we can just get rid of a rhino, no problem.
Okay.
And
And is he counting Storm? What's happening here?
the black floating from the coffers.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, here's
Plague Engineer? That's not really enough either.
nope.
We're gonna name Rhino?
Name Dragon.
Name Dragon?
Yeah, it is naming Dragon.
All right. Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, I do the same thing with my tide binders. If you can kind of like let them like
Mhm.
right there, like kind of
kiss a little
make
bit.
them kiss just a little.
Yeah.
So you know what's going on.
For sure, for sure.
And little Bowmaster Poke, get us our little guy.
All right. We've got blockers. These things have trample, so that's
Yeah.
mm,
Hey, I'm just saying we can march our own orc army if we want. We could march.
yeah.
We can march any of
yeah.
this stuff to just try to gain a bajillion life. But at this point, we used all of our coffers mana, so we're gonna gain 3 life unless we just pitch tons of stuff.
You can march your own stuff.
Yeah, just target.
It's just
a
target. Yeah.
It's unintuitive thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And more rhinos are here. The thing is Alex is kind of dead to a
Yeah.
swift breeze or their own ring. And I think we do have enough to escape the cling that helped us literally cling on last turn. But all of this add up together. If we just get in with our Scion, that's 3 damage. They'll try to gain 3 up to 6, and then they'll take all their ring damage and die.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're really just
So you can march our own orc army and pitch a bunch of black cards from our hand, because each black card we pitch is +2 life.
Mhm.
And it might be worth it to just change those cards in hand to make them gaining 2 life each.
Yep.
But the issue is you can hang on this turn, you gotta hang on next turn, and
Right.
hang on the turn after.
Right, right.
Marty's pressure isn't gonna stop.
No, no, it's not. And this ring as well, just a ever-present source of damage as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go.
March
Oh
will
yeah.
be the play.
Oh yeah.
Gonna march our worm coil engine.
For 2. So gain just enough to live here.
All
All
right.
right. Then we're gonna take 3 from the Scion.
Because it's shrunk from the plague engineer.
Just a little from the Plague Engineer, right? And our best out is we need to gain a little bit of life to survive our own ring.
Sure, suspend another footfalls. Why not? Yeah, yeah.
Marty's just
All right.
using his available mana, doing what you need to, probably holding up subtlety or
Yeah.
something, and just saying, you need to draw damnation plus a new ring. Like, you
Mhm.
need to do something about what I have going on.
Oh, Marty's third on the leaderboard for a reason. We're not gonna play loose just because we have such an overwhelming board
No.
presence here.
Marty's a monster.
Yeah.
Big fan of Marty.
10 out of 10 guy.
Ooh, I would say 3 out of 48.
3. Fair enough.
There's the ring.
Whoa! Where's
And-
the cling? The cling doesn't even save us. The march is instant speed.
Yep. Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Now we're gonna use our coffers.
For
7.
7 mana. Okay.
I'm eating this. I'm eating this orc army. I'm eating it. It's like Taco Bell in a few hours.
I was about to say, do you need to like have a snack or something? You brought up food a suspicious number of times.
No, it's such an evocative way to think about some of the things Measure. It's like Yawgmoth feels like he's like snacking and munching on stuff, making the soup.
He's operating on them.
He-
He's a physician. That's what's happening.
Oh, and whoa. And on top of all this, we just drew Damnation as our draw per turn.
Oh my gosh.
All jokes aside,
Okay.
One Damnation is here. So we can use our mana this turn to set up the new ring, get the big fog going,
Yeah.
and then untap next turn with all of our mana for
Yeah.
this Damnation.
Oh gosh.
And Marty's incentivized on his turn. I believe his hand was land Scion.
Mm-hmm.
Might just try to play a Scion to put the game away and walk into the Damnation.
Oh no. Is he just gonna play it now? No, that's ring. That's ring
Yeah,
mana
new-
too.
new
I
ring.
saw 4 and I was like, damnation now? Wait.
Well, new ring.
Marty, did you
Oh,
see Marty going to scoop?
Hey, Marty's been playing against Mono Black a little bit. I was ready to scoop those up.
That was crazy. Oh
But
boy,
this is
new
definitely
ring.
better.
I agree. Yeah,
Um,
definitely better. I don't think that ring's turning sideways anytime soon, though. I don't know. Alex surprises me every so often. Yo, the last god. Thank you so much for the subscription. Appreciate it.
this one ring is dedicated to you.
Heck yeah. If any of you guys got a free Twitch Prime ready to go, if you use Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription every month. Why not use it on us? We'd love to have it. We appreciate it. Or you can just hit that follow button. We'd love for you to do that too.
Marty incentivized to do nothing here, right? Got to at least play out our Flooded Strand.
Mhm.
This is the joy of drawing your fetch lands late game. They used to suck. Now they're surveil lands.
They suck. I mean, you'd still rather draw a spell, right? Like,
But I'm okay. But
surveilling
in
is
the middle, I would
it's
take
like-
0 mana surveil one.
it's like the participation trophy, you know?
That's
It's
fine.
like-
In the middle of the game, I'll take those.
I
All right,
guess.
that's the difference between me drawing another land and me drawing an impactful spell next turn.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
Time Walk, baby.
Sure, yeah.
Alex revealing his one of fun of and Professor Onyx.
Yeah, Lily. She went to school.
No, that's Professor Onyx. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. There's other words on that card.
Legendary.
I don't know why that got me so hard.
Because it was good.
All right, yeah.
Professor Onyx, this card rules. Very importantly, whenever you cast a spell, instant or sorcery,
Uh-huh.
drain for 2, right? So this Damnation now also gets a gain 2, lose 2 mode on it because we're triggering the Magecraft ability on the Professor Onyx.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is the card in Marty's hand is a Leyline Binding, and it looks like
Ooh.
we might respond and hit the Worm Coil so that it doesn't get to split.
Ooh, I like that because I was gonna mention that too. Yeah, not only does he clear Marty's board, but he actually gets something afterwards because of that worm coil split. Yeah.
Or you could let it split and then exile the lifelink token. But it looks like
Mm,
we're gonna get out of here.
mm,
Oh,
ooh.
we're getting the Professor. We're getting the word. Oh, we've targeted everything. Looks like we're getting the Professor.
We'll throw it on top of the lily. Did he activate her before? No,
No,
he
because
didn't.
we
Okay.
need the Magecraft, and who would have guessed that that'd be the target with all this juice in play.
Right. Yeah.
But very importantly, right, the Worm Coil gets a split.
Mm-hmm.
But Marty's gonna play his Scion he's been having in his hand, still has all of its abilities, including First Strike and Lifelink and Hexproof, and it's not worried about these 3/3s from the Worm Coil.
Oh, I dig it. I like the use of
Alex is a
the
big
dice
fan
there.
of the Paper Tiger Scissor Lizards.
I was actually gonna point out the dice, so I
Oh,
would
so sorry.
assume that the white
White
one
one
is
has
the life
Lifelink,
link and the black
has a Death Touch.
is the death touch there.
A white ability and a black ability is perfect for these days.
Indeed, we'll see another Karn come out here. Go back into that Karn board. See what we grab this time. Ooh,
Oh wow,
yeah,
we're feeling
yeah.
strong.
Let's lock him out. Okay. I don't. I want to. I want to clarify that I'm not rooting for Alex here.
No,
I'm just happy to see both of these players do their thing.
this
And
became a
Marty's
real
had,
game.
yeah, Marty's had such a overwhelming presence in this game that you got to root for the little guys sometimes.
And what's more a little guy than Worm Coil One Ring Karn the Great Creator? This is my little guy.
Yeah, yeah, sure, why not?
Marty here turning that flooded strand into a thundering falls, allowing us to get this mid-game surveil.
Mm-hmm.
Really gonna help us set up for trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, and this crashing footfalls that I sort of teased about earlier when Marty was so far ahead in this game is starting to come back into
Yep,
relevance here.
I love them on layaway.
Mm-hmm. On
Right,
layaway.
just like knowing there's such a power to just playing the game out and knowing a few turns from now the army's coming.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. We're at 24 to 5 though. Alex still has a lot to battle back through here. This life linker 3/3 does help a little bit. Marty's got a lot of power coming down in a minute
Oh,
here though.
I wonder if
Turn stuff sideways. We'll cast.
Lorian
Ooh,
revealed. I wonder
sure.
if Marty thought about the fact that if you had Leyline binding the Worm Coil engine, future Karns could have taken it out from under the binding.
Oh, because
Oh
you can
yeah,
play it from
right.
exile.
You can take a card out of exile.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, so super sick if that was the thought patterning. On top of the fact that you can already beat these tokens, but if we had that foresight, or either way, you folks out there can have that foresight in the future. Sometimes stuff isn't as safe locked under your binding as you think it is.
Karn tends to do that.
Yeah.
You think things are fine, and then Karn comes down, and you're like, oh,
Yep.
oh,
Oh
it's
yeah,
even better than I thought it
it
was.
is an exile, huh?
Hmm.
It sure is. Wow. Oh, Alex has a shield red in hand to go with this one ring we have, and
Ooh.
if things get hairy, this Karn can equal the ring in our sideboard. Sheesh, this is game one, players. We are fighting in the late turns of
Yeah,
this
yeah.
game.
I thought we were almost done here. Gonna go to sideboards. Alex battling back though.
Now, Marty's hand is 2 Cascaders, a Subtlety, and a Scion of Draco.
That's a lot of heat. That Lauren reveal did a ton of work.
Yeah, the thing is we've played a Rhino already. There's a Rhinos on suspend. There's only 2 left.
Yeah, I think one coming off suspend and one getting cascaded into is plenty.
It might just be enough.
I would think that's enough.
Here's Big Shield
I don't
Druid.
know though. We're starting to get some beefy blockers here. Shouldred's a 4/5 that goes toe to toe with the Rhino. These 3/3s can trade with one.
I was just thinking about beefy blockers being a good magic themed rock band.
I said it and I was like, oh, that's
Yeah,
good. I love that.
beefy blockers feels good.
I like that alliteration there.
We're doing the mana check.
All right, we're gonna start doing the lock here with liquid metal coating and Karn.
Yeah, we've hit this steam vents, but you're kind of shooting blind as long as the Leyline of the Guild Pact is in play. They're
That's a
all
good point.
everything.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, I don't know if it matters what we're targeting.
Master.
And we're doing all of this before activating our ring. And this Shieldred's gonna plus his ring is really gonna bolster our life total.
Yep. All right. Draw 2 here.
And gain
Gain
4.
4. Up to 11 now.
Some beefy, big butt, blusterous blockers.
I can't believe you read that. Oh my
That's
goodness.
perfect.
I was like
I mean, that's one of the powers of Shieldred, specifically in this match against Rhinos, is literally the big butt, right? It being
Yeah.
a 4/5.
so relevant.
But then what if we play against Marty with an Ardent Plea in play and the Rhino gets
And the
exalted?
Whoa.
I've seen Exalted come up more than you think because of cards like Scion and Subtlety
Mhm.
set at the beginning, but them just having flying is a good target to give +1/+1 to when everything's gummed up on the ground.
And I just learned this recently that Exalted stacks.
Yeah, you can have tons. If you get 2 Ardent Pleas in play,
I
go
had-
for it.
it just never come up in all my years of Magic to have more than one thing with Exalted
Yeah.
on the field.
We've kind of passed Exalted by. It's been a long time
Yeah.
since like an Exalted
Mhm.
card had seen play.
I didn't even know there were other things besides Noble Hierarch that had Exalted on it.
What about Ignoble?
I was getting there. Okay.
Oh, hey, sound off in chat. In MH3,
Okay.
which green XX do you think's getting its Hierarch? Because we got the Jund one and we got the Bant one. So there's tons more
Oh.
combos to get their Hierarchs. So while Marty's doing the Rhino thing, I gotta know what guilds are getting their Hierarchs.
Mhm.
I think Abzan would love it. Abzan is a color combo. I've actually seen a lot of people playing recently, trying to figure out some new like fun spice to play with. Abzan would love a Mana-Dork.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean green and white
Mhm.
make the most sense there. That Naya, yeah,
Yeah,
anything speaking of. Mhm.
Oh yeah, staying in the shard theme, that'd be the third one from
Oh.
original Alara.
Do not quiz me on my shards and like the all that
Yeah.
knowledge. I know the names. That I feel like that counts for enough.
It's easy. The longer you've been playing, I know the Alara ones are the old ones,
Mhm.
and if you played during Tarkir, they introduced new names, and those must be the newer ones.
Okay, for sure. Maybe yeah, I think I already know too many things
Oh.
about Magic.
But I would freak with a Sultai Mana-Dork. Oh, ooh,
Oh my
a
goodness.
little green blue black. I'm a Sultai guy.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, you're dancing back here in the.
I would
in
love a
the
little Mana-Dork
booth.
for them. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's spicy.
Oh, and if they did one for Sultai, it could be like a snake, little
Mhm.
Naga noble.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, there's so many quote unquote cycles.
Yeah, they can do all the
right?
hierarchs.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
All right, so Alex, scraping back in right now has the Shieldred ring. This Karn is plussing up on Stone Raid mode combined with his liquid metal coating. We've entered a phase of the game where Marty's hold and control is gone. I think.
I think so.
And Alex,
yeah.
I think, is commanding position now. This slog of a game one.
Yeah. I think Marty still has some action here, but his outs are a lot more linear compared to Alex, which is he's got more flexible toolboxy sort of thing going on here, and of course the liquid metal coating putting a lock, what's the word? A squeeze on Marty slowly but surely.
You can see the two players chuckling. Leyline of the Guild Pact alert. Wooded Foothills can tap for all 5 colors. That's why you see a tapped fetch land in play. It is A-OK.
Yep.
In addition to, I don't know if Alex has floated an Urborg for him. He is. So there's 2 different ways that this Foothill could be tapped. But I think Alex was giving him a little guff for tapping his tap land.
For sure.
His fetch land. Oh. What's the checklist card for? What double-sided card do we have?
Let me see.
Agadeem's Awakening.
Oh, for sure.
Wow, what a slam you could do with that.
Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have a different converted mana cost X or less.
Right, so if you pay X equals 1, you get a 1 drop. If you X equals 2, you get a 1 and a 2. If you X equals 3, you get a 1, 2, 3. And I think a part of that is it allows, in the late game when Alex's deck has so much mana, you can just pick up Bowmaster Shieldred, right? It's like that's enough to just slam those 2 back into play. But we even play these Plague Engineers that give us a 3 in the middle of that curve as Alex grabs this Ratchet Bomb. No longer interested in the LD plan, but interested in the Delete Your Rhinos plan.
Sure, yeah.
But that will take the Worm Coil tokens with it.
It will. It is symmetrical there.
Paper Tiger and Scissor Lizard will need to go with.
No. But we
And it's
will scoop up these other rhinos coming off
yeah,
here
because
as well.
Marty had that one unsuspended, forced to play out these other two.
Alex moved it up
Yeah,
to the top of the board.
right up into the rhino zone.
Mm-hmm. Gen Z, all about that broker maestro life. We didn't even mention the Strixhaven ones.
Oh yeah. Well, those
Quandrix.
Strixhaven are guilds.
Right.
And then in Capenna, you're talking about the brokers, the maestros, the riveteers, the cabaretti, and
Obscura.
obscure. Well, I didn't even think about them. They're so obscure.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
I know all about it because I've been playing their Sacklands and Standard.
Yeah. Well, this freaking combo deck, this 68 main board nonsense, whatever. I don't even want to like look at the deck list because
I'll show you. I got it. It's sleeved up. Right?
Do you really?
Yeah, I love that deck.
Oh goodness. Yeah, maybe.
So, Alex, you have a 5-powered orc army. We need to apply, Marty is all of life. We need to apply 10 points of damage. So we can use this Ratchet Bomb, clear up everything that isn't the Shardless and the Scion on Marty's side. Oh, it'll take our Orc army with too. That's kind of like our biggest beater right now. And the Scion is still on super mode, right? Giving this Hexproof, Trample, Lifelink to everything.
Right.
But the ring damage, Alex almost died to this ring, 3 turns ago? And now look at us.
Literally needed the cling to cling to life there.
Twice. I think we clung to life twice with
so.
it. And now, mountains of mana. On top of having these coffers.
not mountains.
Yeah, swamps.
Swamps.
Just big swamps of mana here. And we're awakening. Aghanim's awakening. We're at least getting a Bowmaster back.
Yeah, lean forward here. Bowmaster.
Oh, the Troll of Khazad-dûn. Are we going all the way up to 6?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we're going all the way up to 6. We're getting a Troll. We're getting a Bowmaster. And, the Plague Engineer that died earlier.
Yeah, what's the... We got another one on the field as well. I have to assume that's on Rhino.
Yeah.
Right? No?
It might still be on Dragon.
I don't know.
Wow. I mean, I said we had the 3 in the deck and the Plague Engineer to fill that curve out a little. I didn't even think about a Swamp cycling the Troll all those turns ago. And now Gaia Reach, and I think Marty's just done. Marty's leaving this game.
Is he? Oh
yeah. He's gone.
Right.
He's out of here.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
This was a game that had turn 2 Scion, turn 3 Scion into Rhinos all over the place.
Into turn 4 Guild Pack.
Yeah. And here we are on turn 12 of the game in the Mono Black deck, fully in command, winning game 1, and we're on to sideboard.
All right, let's take a look at these deck lists. Wow. Okay, this is Alex's full 75. We'll take a look. I mentioned this Karn board earlier. We'll go over the other cards in there as well. We got Dothy, Voidwalker, Wormcoil Engine, Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, Collective Brutality, Tormod's Crypt, Relic of Progenitus, Cursed Totem, Liquid Metal Coating, Ratchet Bomb, the Stonebrain, Crucible of Worlds, and Bolas's Citadel.
All right, so most of this is our Karn board. The question you can ask sometime is, would I rather draw a 1-of the Karn target, or would I rather leave it there for my 4 of Karn? Sometimes this was the case when you needed cards that were impactful as early as possible. I don't think that's the case with a lot of Alex's sideboard cards for the Karn package. They're all very kind of like late game or reactive pieces when you have that big mana setup. So the question is do I want these 3 Dothy Voidwalkers? Absolutely. Because what that means is every time you cast a Rhinos, I can sack this to also cast one.
Okay.
So that was a big part of sometimes how Scam would beat the Rhinos deck, is just like answering them Rhino for Rhino. And then at that point, you need to make sure you can get the Scion Leyline stuff out of here, and then you can at least trade off Rhinos if you want to. And then Collective Brutality. The issue here with Brutality is it does have its pseudo duress mode that I can take an instant or sorcery, but the benefit of this card is usually turning cards into your hand into the 2nd or 3rd mode of Brutality, either getting the drain for 2 or the -2 to a creature, but there just aren't going to be targets for that creature portion of it, so I don't think Brutality is good enough when you get kind of the worst version of a duress, and especially a 2 mana. So I would imagine we're just going to bring these 3 Dothys in for cards like Bowmasters that feel like poopy.
Say, yeah, usually I don't participate in like the what do we side in versus what do we side out, but these Bowmasters seem so bad.
And in that case, if I just want to cut the 4th Bowmaster, I could see the first Brutality just have a card with actual text on it.
All right, yeah. I'm really looking to see if the Stonebrain becomes relevant here. If we want to start grabbing stuff out of, well,
It'd be
I'm
good
just
if you wanted.
I'm such a sucker for a surgical
Oh yeah,
effect.
they're good.
I love
But
them so much, but
the
the Rhinos just does
yeah,
have a lot of threats besides, if you take one card out of the deck, that maybe it's not as strong as I initially thought. Let's look at a Rhinos deck though while players are shuffling up here. I don't believe this is Marty's full list here, so this is just an example one
Marty
off
didn't
of
even have Scions until like 2 minutes
he
before the
did
round
come in like
started.
right before we started stream, yeah,
Yeah.
and asked for cards. But this is the updated list, of course, without those violent outbursts anymore. Example sideboard here is Endurance, Magus of the Moon, Tishana's Tidebinder, Dismember, Mystical Dispute, Force of Vigor, Commandeer, and Boseiju.
We'll take these commandeers. You may be wondering why. Commandeer has the One Ring written on it. The
Mm.
thing about it is, I would fully cash in 2 of my random blue cards to take your One Ring. I am not a Commandeer fan because of how low on card advantage you have to be
You have
to
to
use it.
pitch 2
2 blue
cards.
cards.
Yeah.
But if you steal a One Ring, you're going to get all those cards back real quick.
I guess you're pitching what? Shardless Agent, you're pitching
Subtlety, Force of
Subtlety.
Negation, ley
Oh.
lines that you draw.
Okay. All right, all right.
Um,
So we have some options there. I
yeah,
guess I'm just worried about it potentially not being,
yeah.
playable.
What's interesting with the Rhinos deck as it is now is both of our Cascaders are both blue now,
Mhm.
which actually makes our blue pitch cards even easier to cast.
That's very right. Yeah, I forgot about the Arden Please now in the main board there.
Right.
Marty, starting our game off here, will be on the play, gonna suspend a Crashing Footfalls, which he didn't have to do in game 1. He actually found a Surveil land with the
Mhm.
Footfalls in his hand, which I found was curious. This time, gonna opt to suspend on turn 1 and turn 2.
And then I imagine this Misty Rainforest is going to find a Thundering Falls to get him the blue-red Surveil land.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Bowmaster.
Oh, I just remembered. He opted to get a Xander's Lounge game 1 because he wanted to turn on the
to slam
the
those Scions into
yeah.
play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Marty can either get a Thundering Falls here and have near domain, or get a Xander's Lounge to complete it and not have to worry about it for the rest of the game. So it'll be kind of about the texture of his hand on how he feels and what he needs. And we're getting the Xander's Lounge, which says to me, Scions are in this hand somewhere, or we need a Leyland Binding plus our mana for something.
Sure, I think it's good practice just to get domain, even if you don't necessarily have a Scion in your hand. There's just so many benefits, and it can be really punishing if you don't have it later on.
I'm sorry, I started giggling. In Marty's hand
Uh-huh.
is Thrun the Last Troll.
Oh, I saw them talking about
you wanna
this
bring up
card.
Thrun,
Yes.
So the people at the top of the leaderboard, ergo, my friendly teammates, Adam, George, and Marty.
The Flex Slop boys.
Yeah, they're all gunning at each other. So this Thrun has...
That's the wrong Thrun.
No, this is the Thrun.
Oh, that's the Thrun? Oh, I thought they
Thrun.
meant the new one.
No, this Thrun is a powerhouse. And this one has win target match against control written on it. But the thing is all of these words are also really good against coffers.
Sure, yeah. The can't be countered isn't super relevant here, but can't be targeted, and the fact that you can regenerate it seems pretty strong.
Shroud and can never die.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Has it been eroded to read a Shroud?
Possibly.
It's just opponents. I think I saw it before it bleeped off.
That's even better.
Yeah.
That's much better. So that's hexproof.
Damnation has some extra text. What does that mean?
Yeah, the can't be regenerated part of a Damnation, which is literally regenerate on Thrun.
Oh.
Because Damnation is just a true color-shifted Wrath of God, which also has the can't be regenerated text, I believe. So Alex here, seeing both these Rhinos on suspend, plays her turn 4 Karn and picks up this Ratchet Bomb.
Yeah, I've played with regeneration so little. I would
because they phased it out.
Guess, yeah, to say I've never really played with it.
The part of Modern going back to 2004 is we get to dig back into the well like that, go to original Mirrodin, and grab cards like Thrun to beat up your friends.
Sick. Yeah, we'll see a second Scion hit the field here. 2 Scions, 2 Rhinos. We're looking pretty similar to game 1, but if you recall, Marty didn't win that game. So we'll see what Alex is able to do here. Blast Zone is pretty good against these tokens.
The other thing I haven't told Marty is that I also used to bring Thruns here to beat George, but I played him in Yawgmoth.
Oh, interesting.
You can chord for your Thrun in that deck.
Ah, very cool. We'll see the Ratchet Bomb come down here, which means he put it into his deck?
Yeah. No, we just searched for the Karn last turn, but now we're using the Field of Ruin, eating up Marty's domain. And a very important point about the Blast Zone is Blast Zone enters with 1 counter, which means it can't eat up tokens because it's already too many. It hits exactly the number that it is.
Oh,
So Blaststone can never.
I'm.
They made it so that it can't eat up on tokens.
Oh, I was super
Yeah,
incorrect. I
I
was.
played this card way too much in Tron. Thankfully, it's not there anymore because this card's not great. But
Yeah, no, I appreciate your expertise. I thought that was gunning for those tokens.
I bet they could have wished. We would probably would have seen a lot more blast zones if they were free answers to rhinos and mana bases.
All right, Marty will go to combat here. The Ratchet Bomb will get popped, and we'll just crash in with these Scions,
Yeah.
bringing Alex to 12.
At the end of the day, these scions are just 4/4s with flying. We
Flying,
don't
yeah.
need the rest of the text sometimes.
Yeah, nice Bowmaster.
Yeah,
You would
not a
you
fan of
would
these.
think it has reach. He has a
The
bow.
bow.
He has an arrow.
You would think so.
Mm. The Orc army should be gone. That's correct.
Wow.
We'll
yeah.
get that cleaned up. Thank you so much, Chatter.
You know what? Shout out to you. When you see that card gets removed from the board, that's in your honor. Thank you for your help.
I wish we could have like a gold star or something.
Ooh.
Can we gift him some channel points or something?
Oh yeah.
I dig that. If only we had any rewards.
Dang.
I've been thinking, chat, would you like if we used a channel point reward for you to pick the feature match? And if so,
Ooh.
how much should we make it? Because I feel like it should be pretty expensive. And then I guess that would mean that we also have to reinstate predictions. Because earning them, you do get points for following, and you do get
Points for chatting.
You get points for chatting, and you get a better You get more points more often if you're subscribed.
Yep. And I think over time of watching, you can accrue points as well.
Yeah. Make sure you're hitting that little green chest at the bottom.
Maybe we can try round 3. We'll throw it out to the folks for a little predictione.
There we go.
As Marty just kind of one scion per hand, showing you that's like this turn 2 clock is really coming at you.
Absolutely, yeah. We're at 12 here. It's 3 scions. We got 2. Quick mass. We'll grab the worm coil again.
This card, I mean this in the best way. Did stone nothing the first game when we found it.
It felt like a real trap.
Shieldred's Edict, I will say, if you're looking for ways to beat up on scions, this is, I think, one of the best answers available generically to black-based strategies.
It's so good. It doesn't target. It just says each opponent. So it gets through that hexproof, which isn't relevant in this scenario, but really strong still.
But it's also good, not if they hit Shardless, but if they do it off Ardently, because you choose token or non-token, even though they have a bunch of rhinos sitting around, you could possibly eat the scion still.
For sure. Very good point there.
A card I also recommend is Blot Out. People are looking for sideboard cards. It is target opponent sacrifices the creature they control with the greatest mana value.
Oh, okay.
Scions is 12.
Yeah, I don't think you're beating that.
There's another one, I think, Soul Shatter, that people have started picking
from
up.
Aftermath. No wonder I haven't heard of it.
Yeah. Aftermath cards rule, people.
They do. Calyx is a house. Not for this format, but yeah.
Kind production, these all bring a Soul Shatter. Each one sacrifices a creature planeswalker with the highest CMC among creatures and planeswalkers. So very similar text here. You can kind of pick or choose which one you want to play. Soul Shatter might be better because it says each opponent here. The arrow might say target. But these are ways that can allow you to beat up on these scions because they're such high mana cost. As Damnation eats them all up as well.
Yep, it does have that bit of text. I've never read it before. It's never been relevant.
Yep.
Ooh, an ardent plea.
I will say, Alex is bringing cards like Damnation, the One Ring, be able to find these cards off their Karn. It does feel like they're set up well to kind of take down the new forms of rhinos, which is kind of just like this big beatdown deck.
Absolutely.
You kind of have enough time to throw Damnations and stuff at them.
I feel like people use the term well positioned a little loosely, but I feel like this deck goes toe to toe with good amounts of the field.
I would say Alex seems prepared.
That's a better way to put it, for sure.
Right. It seems like we put effort in to say this is a matchup we'd like to win. And even though the deck is still around, we still have all these tools, and they look to be paying off.
Absolutely. Well said.
As Worm Coil Engine is much better now. This one is going to block. This one's going to eat stuff. And these rhinos do not have First Strike. They do not have Lifelink. And this worm is going to start munching on rhinos. And Marty is stuck with a Scion in hand. Because remember, early, Alex used a field to take Marty off their Triumph. We do not have any more black mana in this deck. These Scions are going to cost 4 forever. And we're still picking this Thrawn.
Yo, there's a little face cam action for you there. Alex was like, excuse me, what is that?
Oh, yeah. Big Thrawn in play. And in Marty's hand is Leyline of Sanctity, the white Leyline. Looks like we've drawn it here in the mid game. not where you want that card to be.
That gives you hexproof?
It does give you hexproof. That's a
Interesting.
target for Adam Weiss. Marty's
Yeah,
sideboard is just like
what's that doing in his deck?
to beat cards like this Thoughtseize.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Um,
Give me that Scion.
yep.
Yeah, that
Which
seems good.
and the Scion did in fact cost 4, so Marty could have also played it out that turn, favoring getting out the Thrun out because the Thrun's a very good blocker for this Worm Coil.
Indeed, we can't regenerate it currently.
Yeah, we get Alex gets 1 free Rumble with this Worm Coil if they're willing to trade it.
One free Rumble's half of Marty's life. More than half.
Right, but it'll trade for a double Rhino.
I guess, yeah,
and
yeah.
then-
We're not going to let that through.
Well, the question is, do you think Thrun can beat the 2 baby worms?
It is bigger than the baby worms.
It is bigger than the babies. And now,
We'll get just a Bowmaster with the Agademes? I
yeah,
guess was that the only target? I think so. No, we had the troll all the way up
yeah,
at the top there,
yeah.
but I
We
don't
don't
think
even
we had
have
the
near enough
mana.
mana. Yeah,
Yeah, for a Cabal Coffers deck, we had a ton of mana last
we don't even
game.
have a coffers.
No coffers in sight.
And no Urborgs. We only have 4 swamps, so even the net gain wouldn't be that great on our coffers.
That's a good point. All right, go to draws here. We have this other Ardent Plea that we could cast, beef up this board a little bit.
And Alex, I believe, is empty-handed. So these are the
Oh.
toys we have to play with.
Okay, all right. Worm Coil's tapped currently, so we can get through for some amount of damage.
But we are at 4.
We're at 4. The Rhinos have trample.
Yeah, and Alex is at 10. Oh, this is
It's,
going to be
it's so close. We're so.
Oh, Alex at 16 because we just gained off that Worm Coil.
Oh, excuse me.
And so, big ribs for Alex.
Oh,
Oh, what?
that's a
Was
damnation.
Oh.
That's the good card.
If only. Oh, I bet you Marty's going to try to regenerate, and then Alex is going to go,
Actually. All right, we'll
Yep.
block with a Rhino and the Thrun.
Yep, because this is kind of free because we get to regenerate the Thrun here.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex is gonna choose damage here, but Marty gets to at least only trade off 1 permanent for this Worm Coil.
All right, we'll split the Worm Coil here. We'll still gain the life, though.
Yep.
So we'll go up to 22 here. Interesting, perhaps he could have Damnation before and kept the little tokens.
But I think now we might just be holding on to this damnation. We
We
are
want to
in
get
no
a little
rush.
more value out of it. We know there's other Ardent Pleas in Marty's hand as well. So that seems to make sense to me.
And
Grab a little more value there.
The board's kind of gummed up in our favor right now.
We have this Castle Lochthwain as well. Now that we're above 20, we could start grabbing some
start drawing
cards with
cards?
that.
Yep. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
I would not be shocked if Alex loses 2 life to draw a card in their end step here.
Did Rhinos also adopt Solitude after the ban?
Some did. Some didn't.
It makes sense with Ardent Plea in the
yes.
deck now, another card pitchable to it.
Yeah, you have tons of white cards available to you now. Some did, some didn't. I think the deck that won the challenge on Monday, I think was playing 2. So I think people are still figuring it out. The thing is like I said, you want to shove damage as fast as you can. And Solitude is kind of against that with the gaining a little bit of life. But the thing is you also get stuff out of the way to hit for even bigger amounts. So people are kind of weighing the pros and cons. How much does the mid game of it help? Does it not? To be determined still.
Yeah, we'll see. The card Violent Outburst just got banned on Monday, so the meta is still adapting.
Yeah. And yeah, Marty here playing Rainbow Rhinos. I think has gone through 3 Scion of Dracos already this turn. Alex has just been dealing with it all. And a Fatal Push makes us scoop it up. We get in for the damage, and that's the game.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Like I said, Alex has felt prepared. It felt like having these numbers of damnation, the 1 rings, just these general interactive pieces, and we really just kind of push through. If you can survive the first few turns against this Rhino deck, felt like the Coffers deck could take over at the end.
Yeah, 2 incredible games there. Both players playing really, really well. Big battle back and forth there. Alex, number 5, taking down the number 3 seed, and Marty.
True.
Both these players are ready. I don't think they've quite. We haven't done the math on whether they're guaranteed a part of the prize pool yet.
They're all duking it out for sure.
They're in a pretty good position, and of course, you know the payout gets better the higher your seed is at the end of the 12 weeks. So still playing for a good amount of change here, though. before we head into our backup match, though, which I believe might be done, actually.
Gonzo.
Can't believe it. We put George on backup so you guys could see him, and they're done, but we'll take a look at our weekly schedule here. Wednesday, of course, is Modern. We're live every Wednesday night at 6:30, so tune in for that. Thursday, tomorrow, we will be live with post-rotation Pokemon. We're doing our pre-release, but some of our team members are going to be showing you what the format looks like now that Temporal Forces is in the meta. So tune in for that at 6:30 tomorrow. We also have Commander for all you Magic folk. Friday is a bunch of Magic. We have Legacy and Standard FNM as well as One Piece. We will have the double packs and the starter decks available for the new set for purchase on Friday. Saturday is our Digimon League. Monday is again Digimon, but just regular. No league there. And then Commander as well. Tuesday has Pioneer being replaced by Lorcana and our One Piece League. We offer 5 different games at the store, so if you don't like Magic, I don't know why you're watching the stream, but if you like Magic and some other stuff, there's plenty for you to play at our store, so we'd love to have you in here. With that being said, though, we're going to go pick up some round 3 features. Stay tuned.
See y'all soon.
Welcome back, folks. We're in our 3rd round of Wednesday Night Modern here at the Nerd Rage Gaming storefront. We got a good one for you. Once again, number 1 on that leaderboard, Adam Weiss versus our very own series producer, Sam Brown. Here, ready to game. Adam, of course, rocking his classic burn deck, and Sam rocking his Time Sieve Asmo food deck. We've seen him a couple times on stream. Can we refresh the folks' memory at home what exactly Sam's deck does?
Okay, so at its base, it's an Asmo Ranica Dyson and Nicole Dakar deck.
That was really good.
It's wrong, but
that was really close.
Yeah, you just say it fast and you'll fool everyone. So,
you got me, yeah.
So it has the Asmo shell at its base. And a part of it is if you can then get an Academy manufacturer in play.
Mm-hmm.
Academy manufacturer allows you to, if you make a food, a clue, or a treasure, you make all 3.
Yeah.
If you can assemble 2 cookbooks, a Daredevil in hand, and a Academy manufacturer in play.
Okay.
When you do the looping overall there, you net 6 artifacts in play. Time Sieve is an artifact that says sacrifice 5 artifacts, take an extra turn. Once you have all those pieces set up, you will take all of the turns for the rest of the game, and you'll piece it together, right? You'll put a 4/4 in play or whatever, and start beating down. Yeah. You'll eventually figure it out at that point. The thing is you are playing against Burn, and you put yourself to 15 on turn 1. You are going to need those foods for their life gain mode.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've seen that happen before, where that's what Sam has to end up doing is using the food for life.
Yeah, and it looks like I looked at Sam's record. Sam won their round 1. Lost round 2 to Valerie, who had on feature round 1 of the Goryo's deck. I bet that buried this deck in value. And is now needing to switch your brain to the opposite mode of survival mode against Burn.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very different matchup compared to Goryo's. Adam is looking to get this game over with very quickly, and Sam's done 25% of the work already.
No joke. All right, we have Street Wraith, we have Fetch Shocked, but we do have a 4/4, which means Adam's creatures are shut off. Or I believe Asmo is a 3/3. But no matter what, Adam's creatures are not getting through.
No, they're not. And he's taken a bit of time to think through this very first turn here.
Yeah, because I see at least a Goblin Guide, which is stonewalled by Asmo.
Indeed.
Miranda Dyson Nakultakar?
The Kuldakar.
I think I'm missing a whole syllable, but it's
okay.
enough.
You got the first and the last ones there.
Asmo Nakuldakar.
Yeah.
It's cold in the car. Not anymore. If you're in the Midwest right now, weather is wild.
It's been great. I had the store door open earlier, let some of that breeze come in.
Yeah,
I didn't get to touch any grass, but I smelled it.
Hey, that's a start as this Goblin Guide enters untapped, stays untapped, and does not rumble. This is a blocking mode Goblin Guide.
It's not something you see too often.
Nope, and here is the food maker in the cookbook that we found off the Asmo. And a Gilded Goose.
All right.
Another food producer. Remember, there's a secret mode. Gilded Goose is here as a mana dork, but you can pay 1 in a green and make a food off this Gilded Goose. So we have 2 food engines in play that it might be worthwhile to spend a lot of our game interactions.
Oh, there's the Daredevil. Which one? Oval Chase?
Oval Chase, yep.
Oval Chase Dragster? Not Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Oh, it is?
You're good. It's the Daredevil. And what's happening here is You saw that Adam quickly went to move their Goblin Guide to the graveyard because we're going to use the 2 foods to make the Goblin Guide eat itself to Asmo's ability, which allows us to attack in for 3 unimpeded by the Asmo, wasting Adam's whole turn.
There you go. Yeah, we'll rumble in there. Life total 17 to 15 in
Oh, Adam
Adam's favor.
Adam was on a double Goblin Guide draw against the turn 1 Asmo. And the manufacturer
Ooh,
sitting on top.
that's good info.
It allows when Sam goes through the loop here of discard Daredevil to Cookbook, that will also make a treasure, which will start being able to net mana. So we can kind of start going through the pieces and gaining mana from going through it, which might be the mana we need to sack these foods. Sam just preserving our life total. Just block this Goblin Guide.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like I know we are playing against Burn. I feel like that Gilded Goose is very useful. It can make mana. It can make more food. 2 doesn't feel like a lot in this scenario, honestly. But yeah, against Burn, sometimes you do just have
I
to
think
make
we're just
those
preserving, right? If we can just kind of get in the, because now Sam is basically in the cycle of
Oh,
to discard a cookbook,
at
sacrifice your food.
He's running. And maybe he's going to Kai.
Yeah, he's probably checking the judge real quick.
Judge for sure.
So what I think's gonna happen for Sam is basically every turn for the rest of this game, we can attack with our Asmo, get our damage in, tap our cookbook, Daredevil to the yard, make a food, use our 2 mana, sack the food, and we can rinse and repeat, and that just basically counters the bolt every single turn that Adam could be playing.
Yeah.
And if we slowly net mana over time, we can start casting other spells as well.
All right. Adam has returned here, received his answer from the judge, flicking his cards like he do. I did just hear, for folks unaware, we are at week 10 of 12 of our Modern League. Adam is almost full week's worth of points ahead of everyone else, but he is missing the very last week of our league, so he's trying to get as many points as he can, pad his lead as much as possible before he knows he's going to be missing the last week of the league.
Yeah.
Notably, all the people behind him trying to catch him right now have already missed 1 week.
Yeah, and they're not messing around, are they?
They're not. They plan to be here every week.
As we see Sam quickly fetching for our mana source on turn 3 here. Sam is at 11, but like I said, we have a life gain kind of churn turn after turn. We can negate one of these bolts per turn by just gaining 3 if we want to. The issue is you kind of don't do anything else for that turn.
For sure.
But I'm kind of okay with it for a little bit because Adam's going to run out of cards before you are if you're just rinsing and repeating over and over.
I was going to say eventually he'll draw lands or something.
Here's our manufacturer. Remember, because now we make all 3 to this discard effect, we have the treasure, the clue, and the food.
Oh, I love having Sam on stream too because he has the prettiest tokens. They're so nice looking.
I can't tell you which one is which.
I think the middle one is the treasure.
And the one that looks like a soda pop with a skull is the clue.
Yeah.
All right, we're in, folks. Spike, upstairs, kaboomski.
Down to 8.
Go to 8. Get that Discord notification out of here.
That 2 damage that I was smirking at earlier seems very relevant now.
They'd be dead.
Yeah.
Now, Sam.
That's why I'm in the booth.
Sam here getting to untap for their turn. Like I said, now every time we do the loop, we'll also net a treasure. So every other turn that we do it, we will gain the 1 resource you pay to sack the food for free using our 2 treasures.
Resolve the Urza Saga 3rd chapter here.
Adam using this as a good time to do their fetch as well. Both players in the deck at the same time. Much appreciated.
There we go. I think Cookbook's the only target in the deck. That I can think of.
I don't know if Sam's floating like another one of like a Shadow Spear or something to fight back, but the cookbooks I believe are the main targets.
Yeah, we'll take a look at his deck list during sideboarding here. All right, players both shuffled up here.
The real question is how much time does Sam want to dedicate to gaining life, and how much time do you want? Oh, this Gilded Goose makes all 3. Each of you make a food, but it's all 3 now. Which means it's free.
1 mana, make 3.
Right.
3 tokens.
And it nets a treasure. So it doesn't cost you anything to play this Gilded Goose. It's just +1 clue, +1 food.
For sure, for sure. Oval Chase Dragster back there.
Yep, and now this one's going to Oval Chase loop. And what's happening is...
Where'd you go, Adam?
Every 2 times we loop, we gain 3 life because of these treasures. And we can use our actual mana if we want. Like we have the one floating still from the Saga. Sam has access to gaining 9 life this turn.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Yup. Like,
I think Adam has 2 burn spells in hand, so he very
no.
nearly had Sam dead.
And now he's very dead because at a minimum, Sam can do this double loop each turn with the cookbook, netting 2 treasures to sack one of the foods they made alongside their lands. We're just going to gain 6 naturally every turn for the rest of the game now.
All right, we'll sack a food there. Gain 3 life, go to 11.
Yeah, Sam's life total is now going to go in the opposite direction of where Adam wants it to be going.
Indeed.
And
All right, share, send a bolt.
Oh,
Oh, it's not even a bolt, it's a
Adam-
play with fire.
the Adam Weiss Invitational card, Play with Fire. He said he owns like 24 copies of this card.
Let's think. He's got it in Modern, Standard, and Pioneer, I would assume.
And lazily buys more when you can't find the others.
Sure, why not?
Rift Bolt on Suspend? Yeah, I guess. Pass it back. And Sam, because these are treasures to sack these foods, you're in no rush to use them. So we can just build up this store, and then when we need to, crack them all.
Yeah, this is exactly where Sam wants to be, I'd imagine.
And we have a Finale of Devastation in hand.
Oh.
Which typically allows you to, like, Finale for 0, grab an Asmo. But it looks like
There's
we're
gotta
finaling.
be some big payoff
Yeah.
on the other end.
We used a bunch of treasures here, I believe. And we're on the hunt for something, but we're gone.
It had
Game
to
is
be
over.
enough. Adam will scoop it up there. Let's take a look at this deck list.
Yeah,
What's he
yeah.
got in there?
If we look at Sam's list, we might be able to find what the last piece we were trying to find.
Asmo
There.
food combo on the big end. There's that Saren Seal Seeker we were talking about earlier.
Yep, this is its home.
Street Wraith is technically something.
Oh yeah, and if we could have, we most likely could have just searched up another manufacturer there and just made it unwinnable for Adam for the rest of that
get
game.
some good value there. Let's take a look at this sideboard there, though. Excuse me.
Mm.
We got 3 Haywire Mites, 4 Spell Pierces, 2 Thoughtseize, 2 Pithy Needles, a Nile Spellbomb, Shadow Spear, Boseiju, and Gemstone Caverns.
I would like these Haywire Mites because they block and gain 2 life.
They do.
That's already just a start there. These Spell Pierces are most likely can just say, like, counter every burn spell, right? If you draw a Pierce, burn typically does not have the mana to pay for a Pierce, right? They're trying to be so mana tight when they're trying to go through everything. I can also see in the sideboard a Gemstone Caverns. Sam won that first game, which means we're going to be on the draw. Free Gemstone Cavern game. And we have this Shadow Spear, which can allow us to turn our Urza Saga plan into a life gain plan. So if we want, we can bring in up to 8 cards. The matchup was already good, and it can easily get better.
Yeah, I think the Haywire might be the looser of the includes. I think, you know, with the amount of creatures already in Sam's deck, Adam might look to cut some of those creatures and
For
just
sure.
add more burn spells. So those Haywire might just be hanging out there waiting to gain life.
We may want to bring them in because Adam is likely to have Roiling Vortex, which is an anti-cascade card, also an anti-life gain card, which allow you to have the Haywire Mites to fight back while possibly just having some loose sources of life gain. And I think you can eat your own food, like your own tokens you've made, if you're in desperation mode with your Haywire Mite.
Okay, all right. Let's take a look at Adam's deck list here. See if he's actually got these vortexes.
At minimum, Sam was playing
he's
4.
got 3.
Sam was playing 4 Street Wraiths. Though they're kind of a part of the engine, I can imagine cutting them against burn and just putting like 4 Spell Pierce and being like, I'm ready.
That makes sense. Yeah, seems like a good plan to me. Let's look at this Boros sideboard here. Oh my goodness, tripping over my words here. We got Strict Proctor, Path to Exile, Wear Tear, Engineered Explosives, and Roiling Vortex. 5 cards, 3 copies apiece. Those bottom 3 look pretty good.
Yeah, Vortex felt good. Engineered Explosives might be a trap because you saw so many tokens. You might be worried about them. But it also eats up Asmo alongside all of them if you're worried.
Is Wear Tear too narrow then? Do you want something like Engineered Explosives that goes wider and hits multiple?
I think so, but I think the real secret is you don't want any of them.
You don't want either of those cards?
I think that game might have been a partial fluke because Adam drew 2 Goblin Guides. And if those were spells, Sam was dead that game.
He was, yeah.
And I think the plan is be on the play, give Sam very little time, and just push your damage.
Yeah, absolutely. That game was a lot closer than it appeared to be, right?
Yeah. So I might cut a couple of these creatures, bring in the vortexes, maybe like a path or 2 for when things get dangerous, and just be on the plan to push.
All right, we'll begin game 2 here with Sam up 1. Adam will be on the play, just
Yep.
shocking in a Sacred Foundry and passing. We do see that wear
Yeah.
tear in
But
his hand.
same plan. This wear tear kind of lets you just like remove a problem like a cookbook might have been.
Oh, and there's Sam's
Yep.
sideboard card. We'll
And
see a turn 1 Hairwire might.
Sam did have one main, so we'll see if a second
Oh.
or third show up, how much we really wanted this card.
All right, Searing Blaze with that landfall trigger will take care of the might. Send 3 upstairs as well.
Adam, this might have been a loose keep, my friend.
You think? What aren't you liking about it?
We didn't do anything on turn 1.
I mean, we have a bolt. We just
Yeah, we have a wear tear. Looks like another searing. Sorry, spells are bolt, blaze, wear tear, 2 lands. All right, so these cards have a lot of weight to pull for us.
Did Sam gain the life?
So you took
okay.
only 1 damage from the 3 that you should take from the blaze.
Got it, and he fetched. Okay, I see.
Adam loves seeing a fetch land. Those are free burn spells.
Shock lands as well.
Fetch shock, what a freebie.
Seem great. Love the on theme attire as well. Got a red hoodie.
You mean the
on.
red hoodie?
Yeah.
Yes. We love on theme attire.
It's good.
It's good. Saren Steel Seeker.
Let's get that card up. That's
This card
such
rules.
a random card, man.
If you thought the Flagey Archaeologist was good, this is another card that's good in like one spot and it's cracked. Whenever an artifact,
one specific thing.
Yeah. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, look at the top card. If it's a land, reveal it, put it in your hand. Otherwise, you may put it in your graveyard. So it kind of lets you surveil if it's not a land.
Okay.
So either it nets you a bunch of lands, or it mills cards over and then finds you lands. It just lets you churn through your deck when you have the engine going with your Cookbook Daredevil.
Right, because it's whenever an artifact enters. Oh, there's a manufacturer. That's good. Sam down to 11 now.
Yeah, I think Adam's plan might be partially ignore this manufacturer, but we drew so many lands.
We also played out both of our Searing Blazes already, so now we got to send just a regular burn spell. Or a Wear Tear cleans up. Yep, that's an artifact creature.
Guess we'll wear it.
Nicely done there.
And now we're sitting with
another one.
Yeah, and Adam with 5 points of burn in hand. Here's a gingerbread cabin, triggering alongside this manufacturer. Get all 3 of these tokens from the food from the cabin. Sheesh. And Adam drew way too many
there's that
lands
card.
this game.
So random. Sam and I were talking about it earlier because I asked him if he's added any surveillance into his deck, and he's like, no, really need that mana available right away. And then I also have this utility land already in the gingerbread cabin.
Sam, you could play one. Sam, you could definitely get a surveillance in
Just
here.
a single one?
I'm saying you could do it for sure. If you hand me your deck list, I'll cut a land at random, and you'll get it. But I agree. Gingerbread cabin, super cool, super sweet.
You can see here, it just made a food, treasure, and a clue.
Every single land from this cycle, from original Eldraine, is good. I promise you. All of them have seen play in some way, shape, or form.
Because you like Dwarven Mine so much.
Dwarven Mine's good.
I know, I
Mystic
agree.
Sanctuary's good. Gingerbread
that
Cabin,
card's very banned.
very banned. Gingerbread Cabin, good.
Okay, and then what are the other 2?
Idyllic Grange, good.
Never seen it played.
It's specifically only played in like the mono white martyr decks because it cares about planes.
Okay, and then the black one was
Witch's Cottage. Witch's Cottage is very good.
What's that card do?
I'll calibrate blast you one time. You'll learn about Witch's Cottage.
Okay, all right, buddy.
I promise
you.
you.
We'll see.
I'll show you the deck list I would have registered. You got blasted.
Sam down to 9 here with this Play with Fire from Adam. The Scry will keep it on the top, and it's an EE as the draw.
Adam, you just drawn 1 billion lands. We really got to fight through to get these 9 points here.
We do. We have 3 of them, and we have the Horizon land. EE on 0.
I mean, we can still pop this Horizon land, draw 2 bolts, and just try to end this game. Like, it's not that far away.
The food can always be cracked for life at this point, though.
Yeah. There's no way we can tag it with this EE while Sam is not able to sacrifice it. So I think no matter what, it's going to get got. And we drew another Haywire Might, confirming Sam at least brought some number of these in, drawing our second copy here.
Right. We also have this Finale, doing a bit of math there. Finale is a sorcery, though?
Yeah. That's right. Thank you so much, Soda Master. Idyllic Range is played in Heliod combo, a card unplayable on Moto, but you can play it in person events, and people are starting to pick it up with the new bans. So who knows? Things could be happening.
Heliod in Modern? I've seen Heliod in Pioneer, I think.
Yeah, before it got banned. All the cards are still legal in this format.
All right. Okay. All right.
Modern is vast.
It is. It is.
Finale of Devastation. For 0, we're off to find Asma, Random, Martica, Dice, and the Goldakar and get the book. Then we'll be able to play out that cookbook, and then things get even worse for Adam. Because I don't know if we've shown a Daredevil, but Sam's been sitting on a couple cards in hand this game.
There's the Asmo.
Find the book.
Shortcut there.
Adam thinking in response to the trigger.
And we'll
the EE
opt
pop.
to pop the EE there.
And it looks like Sam's probably going to use the mana, crack this food, go up to 12, go find the book.
Yep. Trigger still resolves even though the Asmo dies.
Yeah, the important part is getting to eat the Asmo here as well.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bolt the manufacturer as well. Okay, so we've used our hand to clean up everything Sam had going on, but we are burn empty.
Indeed. We'll get the clue off the table there as well in a second, I assume.
Yeah, that's just for us to look at for a bit.
It's really pretty.
It's not a soda. What is?
It looks like a Indiana Jones idol kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks like I need to swap it for a bag of sand.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah. I assume we'll clean it up here in a second, or we'll have the producer nudge them. Yeah, he's messing with it. I don't think that should be very gone, sir.
And we've played out the book. And now Adam drawing, immediately cycling land away Boros Charm. That helps the math a little, for sure.
That's really good. There we go.
Yep, we've grabbed them all. Much appreciated. Shout out to players, shout out to production, and we got that all taken care of. Adam here drawing a Boros Charm that helps the math, needing to do 12 total damage. We need a lot of Boros Charms to push for 12.
We'd need 3 of them.
Yep, that's the numbers.
Yeah.
That's the numbers. Yeah, we're going to read this Steel Seeker again. It's a good card if you're returning through your deck. A card that maybe I'd cut against Burn just because of the amount of pressure that's being applied. But in a game like this, we're playing a longer game. This card's going to help us start finding the good cards.
Do you think Adam plays Burn because he's a math teacher and he wants to make sure that I get my practice in every time he's
I
on
think
feature?
he does play it because he's a math teacher. I think that part's fully true.
I do, yeah. But he's not the only one math in here. I got a math too.
Yeah. Just making sure you know your 3s times tables.
Well, Boros Charm, that was 4.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you're right.
Look at me.
Yeah, Sam did indeed win the first game. We're rocking deep in game 2 here. Boros Charm does what Boros Charm does best. Nugging for 4, Sam down to 8. And I thought Adam drew a multicolored spell there, and I think the only one's the Charm. But we got those cards face down.
Lightning Helix.
Yeah, could be Lightning Helix. Could be Lightning Helix.
It's in standard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Pretty great. All right.
Oh, we're fiddling with the book because remember the cookbooks are really good with the Daredevil, allow you to loop and get it turn after turn after turn. But you can discard any card. So if Sam wants, you get any time turn any card in your hand like this time, Steve, just into a food. Just get a food. And trigger your Steel Seeker. If it's a land, it goes to hand. If it's a non-land, you're welcome to bin it or keep it on top.
Does he reveal it?
You reveal if it's a land because you must prove it's a land and put it in hand.
Got it. Okay.
But Sam's thinking about this top card, which means it's all right. If you have to think this long, bin it.
Yeah.
By the by, right?
Really? Yeah. I mean, because you get another look, right, with the second one.
The thing is, right, when you get this style of card selection. And you're like, maybe I want that. That means you don't want it.
Really? All right. There goes the finale. Will go into the bin there.
Okay, I might have taken a finale though. That's an Asmo.
It is an Asmo. We'll get this Overgrown Tomb to hand.
And then we're gonna love this. We're gonna activate in our upkeep, ditching the Overgrown Tomb that we don't need in order to get 2 more of these pseudo surveils.
Yeah.
Sam debating again.
What if it's another finale?
I mean,
like maybe he wants it now?
Finale is an Asmo.
Yeah.
I'm on board for having a finale.
It's very good.
The thing is you're at 8, and if you subscribe to Burn Math, Adam has 2 cards in hand, which should be 6 damage. So you're presumably a spell away from dying, and that's a Gildagoose. Love a Gildagoose is good, right? Up our food count. Just keep this number going up.
That'll trigger the Steel Seekers again.
2 more again. Yep.
Trigger.
Yeah, churn through, Sam.
All right. Okay. We're doing it.
Mill over a book, that's fine. You get a bunch of those.
We got one in play already.
And then second one, if it's a land, can get you your land drop for turn, allowing you to activate both of these foods. Perfect. It's an untapped land too. So now we got this cavern, and if you want, you can play it out, activate both these foods, and gain 6 this turn.
We're cooking.
Sam is accidentally targeted Adam. Because as we know, Sam always plays this deck. Adam always plays this deck.
Yeah.
An accidental, just great burn matchup, it seems. Haywire might trigger these Steel Seekers. We're looking for steel.
Sure.
Let's find some steel.
What we got? Another land. Wow. Why is the second one always a land? That's crazy.
Wow, crazy.
It's perfectly mana woven.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. But Sam.
I'm not. No accusation here.
Sam,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant.
Woo-wee.
I'm sorry.
Adam and
drawing too many lands. Name.
Yep. Name a more iconic duo.
Yeah.
As he sits there with a Boros Charm in hand.
Sheesh, man.
Yeah. This is the Adam Weiss curse.
Try so hard.
I don't. This matchup seems rough.
I mean, yeah, he's got built-in life gain in his deck. Adam hasn't drawn a Roiling Vortex, which you got to assume he put in there.
And now we have Sam unearthing their Academy manufacturer.
Oh, Bunny, that's such a good point. George and drawing not enough lands, also iconic.
Yep. Daredevil into the bin, perfect, because now when you put any artifact into play, you can pick up that Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just on layaway for later. The engine is churning. Adam is just playing along.
Yeah, we're here. We're vibing. Gonna start making math. doing the stuff.
I hope
the dive for?
I think Adam is F6.
I
think this 6. So Adam has recently picked up Moto.
Really?
Been grinding leagues. The boy's been out there grinding. Oh no, it's for the 6 Steel Seeker triggers.
Oh.
While Adam may be possibly F6 here, it is for all 6 of these triggers. Jeez. Oh yeah. Welcome to Trigger Town. It is just population of these two, basically for as long as Adam wants to hang out.
Yeah, for sure. 1.
If I'm Sam, I'm like, I know a card I want to draw, and I'm gonna get there. And it looks like we kept that card on top immediately. When we have a clue, so we got to draw that card.
Play a Gilded Goose.
Played
More
a goose.
triggers.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. And then
right,
trigger 6 more times.
Are we digging towards the time
3
sieve?
more times. Oh yeah.
Gotta just be looking for the payoff.
The
now.
time sieve's in the bin. How many time sieves are we playing?
Let's look.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Or we're playing 3. Okay. So we binned 1, but they far more do exist.
Yeah.
They do exist. Like Santa Claus and the M&Ms, they do exist.
Oh.
Oh.
What are you asking Santa for?
Right. Hey, that's my favorite question in March.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm Jewish. I don't know when Santa comes.
As we see Adam, Burn Master, clearly going to rip 11 points of damage here this next turn.
Easy. We've trimmed a land. Now
Yeah.
we're not going to draw one.
No, of course not.
Here we go.
Adam would never rip another. Adam is very good at drawing lands and burn, and then when he borrows Leyline Scion, he's really good at drawing the Leyline.
Yeah.
Rip.
It wasn't a land.
Sweet, dude. Lava Spike. Upstairs. Okay. Taste it. Go to 8.
Taste it.
All right. Now we're sitting. We're thinking. We have Boros Charm. Our opponent doesn't have a million food.
Another 6. Dude, that die is so fun.
Adam's just helping along.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam is on the hunt for Time Sieve, and then you're all are going to see the combo. Whoop, whoop. Get that land. Yep. Get that land. Yep, don't need that. Oh, another land. And 6 trigger.
There it is. Time Sieve.
Use the treasure. Pop the clue. Wombo. Combo time. All right, folks. What's going to happen is you see every time they make a token, this manufacturer is going to allow them to make 3 tokens. So we're on the hunt for another manufacturer, a way to put it in play, to generate 6 overall tokens. Use the Time Sieve to take away 5 of them, to take a turn, and start trying to loop, 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 and loop.
Does Boros Charm have any? What are those other modes? Double Strike?
Double Strike and Indestructible. Those other modes won't get there. Adam fully F6, showing you the arid mace in his hand, saying, "Sam, can you put it together?" Sam can definitely put it together.
I hope so.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All
I
right,
don't think
Sam.
he's actually ever comboed off on camera. This
Nope.
is great.
And we're not exactly common. We're kind of doing it manual mode right now. We've done the time sieve. We're just untapping for another turn, going to combat. Because we don't have true infinite.
We can.
Because we need a second book or a second manufacturer.
You can just make the
Hmm?
Oh, because you only make 3.
But we can
with
take an
the-
extra turn here, pop the saga, get a second book, and then we're off.
You
to the
can
races.
make 5 because you can have both the geese make food, right?
Oh, yeah. But this finale finds Asmo, finds us our second book, and now that's true infinite.
There we go.
So as long as there's an Asmo and a book available. And then that will bring back our Daredevil, which has been in the yard forever.
Indeed.
And that's
And
the Nux. That's
there
the
we
game. Taking it
go.
down. Sam on the production team for the NRG
Sheesh.
series, taking down our #1 seed here at
All
Locals.
right. Good couple of games there. The Asmo food combo gets through on the up pair.
Is that a backup match I spot? Are they still there?
I think I do. Let's tune in. What are they doing over there?
All right. Welcome to our #4 seed, Ray Ray, on Heartless Leyline
Mid-range
Domain mid-range nonsense.
Reanimator?
Yeah, I
There's
think-
so many words in
Yeah.
his registration name.
Isaac, Stone Cold Killer. If you see them when you're on the NRG series or here at Locals, strap in because it's gonna be a rough one for you.
The guy plays good decks.
Yeah, and Isaac plays tight. All right,
He does. He plays very well.
and playing the new hotness, the cool deck, the Goryo's deck. Here,
What invasion is it? Is that
Urgamon.
herb?
Discard a card, draw a
Isn't that
card,
like
make a treasure.
Is that like an herb or something?
Hey, just put a little Urgamon on there. I think you're thinking Bergamot.
Bergamot, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful name for a girl. As Isaac taps for 4, slams this grief. We're gonna get a peek at Ray's hand, much appreciated. As we see Invasion of Amonkhet, Tribal Flames, and an Overgrown Tomb. You can just choose any of these. The Invasion, most likely the one's gonna be the hardest for you to deal with. Life totals look to be 20 for Ray and 19 for Isaac. So we are in the early stages of this game.
All right, looks like Ray won game 1 as well. So Isaac on the back foot here, hoping to recover. Activate the attack trigger on the Kavu.
I do think Kavu is such a cool tool for reanimation style strategy because it has the attack trigger to discard a card, draw a card.
Yeah.
Allows you a way to get kind of fatties into the graveyard. I have been looking. I'm not playing today. The deck I would have played is if you took both of these players' decks and put them together. I was gonna play 5-color Gorios.
Oh, okay.
Which specifically trying to do that thing of like dropping stuff to the Kavu. But as we see Isaac quickly use this Tainted Indulgence, got the tracks in the yard, popped it back out, and now we're doing the thing.
All right, let's see what we reveal here. 3 copies of Goryo.
That's fine. Take one, put the rest
Okay.
away for later.
Sure.
Crack a fetch, shuffle them all in, you'll be all
There you
right.
go. Another Atraxa for your troubles, a Pending for your
Right.
sorcery.
And
fetch
very
land.
importantly, Isaac has not played their land yet per turn. So we most likely want to make sure we grab a white source. Oh, but we've touched the Spirit Realm in hand, not Ephemerate. So we're not going to be able to generate enough mana to keep this Atraxa. So it's going to get exiled at the end of turn.
Okay.
Very important to notice. Gorios feels broken. It has a gate of telling you need to exile it at end step. The deck is just built to keep your toys.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
In the
yeah.
face of the Kavu, Atraxa seems a little bit better here, even if it's just for a turn. Kavu might give Ray some resources though to just grapple back here. He is at a full 20.
About to be to 13.
About to be 13 to Isaac's 21.
Traxa, my queen.
She's pretty great.
She rules.
I've heard good things about her.
What if I get Atraxa tattooed? Oh, that'd be so cool.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Shout out, Fund My Kickstarter.
Fund my Kickstarter, GoFundMe.
Man, my GoFundMe for the queen. Oh yeah, she's
Oh,
very cool.
I
Very
would
cool.
love to have a magic tattoo. That'd be sick.
Coming to an NRG near you.
Dude, what? Yeah, what if we just collabed and had a series event like next door to a tattoo convention, and then just like pop over during, just play Burn.
I would love
just like have some fast
I would
games.
love an on-scene artist.
We do. We have England.
But I mean for tattoos.
For sure. Yeah. No. Her pens are soft tipped.
Get a temporary.
Yeah. Yo, that'd be cool. I'd dig that.
So the Gorios did what it was intended to do. It has exiled this Atraxa.
Mm-hmm.
So Ray knows most of the cards that Isaac picked up because we saw them off the Atraxa. And you have now the biggest threat again in your 5/5. What Ray looks to be doing is attacking his battle. The thing about the domain package is they're very good at attacking battles.
Yeah.
Because it's either this 5/5 Kavu or a 4/4 flyer in the form of Scion.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just going straight for Isaac, which makes complete sense. The backside of Urgamon is fine, but now we are going to use our turn to
It's
hard cast a
rhino.
ley line.
Yo.
No, those were banned. Which it's a fine card, right? It
It's
allows you to get some
interesting.
aggression in play
Yeah.
and do a little loot scoot boogie, and allow you to search for a land. That's well and good. But I think we'd rather take the 5 damage right now.
For sure. Yeah.
Guarantee
Even
ourselves.
it back up a bit. We're at 12 to 15 now.
Yeah, the thing that Ray doesn't know is the last card in Isaac's hand, the unknown one, is another Atraxa.
Yeah.
And we know that we picked up a Gorios. That was our instance of choice. Isaac using his turn to get a Surveil land. Amazing, right? You have so many of these moments where you have your turn plus 1 mana. It's like the perfect time to keep slotting these in. This Gorios deck playing four Surveil land. That's the most I've seen so far. Outside of Spike's Surveil combo deck. I won't talk about it. This is the most like mainstream 4x Surveil land deck right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How many is Spike playing?
Like 8.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of tap lands.
As we see, and Isaac picked up
Ooh.
maybe one of my like favorite cards in Modern, and
How long
Odawara.
has Leyline of the Void been on the field?
That was Ray's play last turn. Ray spent his whole turn casting this ley line out.
That's a very good play. See a sign of Draco come on the
Mhm.
field here.
But what we could see Isaac working towards is Isaac is in the exact same scenario that Valerie was in round 1 of play Odawara as your 6th land, hope for 7th to slam Atraxa.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is Ray is applying a lot of pressure. Ray, known local brewer. We've been seeing them play a lot of piles of just kind of cards.
Indeed.
The past maybe month, picked up the domain package to supplement their chosen pile. We're up to 4th on the leaderboard, slamming plays like this of putting our ley lines and all this power in play.
Ooh.
But Isaac looks to have other plans. Odawaring that ley line. This is your turn, your moment to figure out, can you get an Atraxon to play?
Yeah, absolutely. We have just a couple. I don't know what's in the bin right now.
Bone Shard.
Yo, bone shards.
So we're going to kill one of these 2 domain creatures and discard our Atraxa to the Bone Shards.
Right.
And it looks to be the Kavu. Nah. We want the Scion? Want the Kavu? Want the Scion? Want the Kavu? Raise a nice guy, rail, let's choose.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, go for
I think
it.
I want the Scion. The Scion's bigger flyer. Not bigger, but it flies, has on effect. And if you're looking to kill something, play this Grief. The Grief at least can block the Kavu. So I'm on board with this play. You also have a pending. You can pending this Kavu.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a creature in the bin
Kavu's
from
also got the
earlier?
attack trigger, which is strong.
We have this Atraxa in the bin from our Bone Shards. That was the discard ally we needed for the Gorios we picked off the Atraxa. I remember we saw the Gorios and we're like, oh no. But we shuffled off our Surveil land, found another Gorios in here. We just found Gorios, Atraxa, Tainted Indulgence. Like the whole package is here again if you want it.
Sure. Once more, we'll do the dance
Mhm.
again. See what we grab this time off the Atraxa.
We're getting this prismatic ending, which means we're going to have 2 answers to this Kavu and a future Kavu.
Celestial Purge looks like a sideboard card that
Yep.
came in.
A good choice for our instant can deal with any threat that we might not have an answer for. We can pick up this. We can always get the land for free. You're not going to be struggling too much there. The only confliction is the Tainted Indulgence is also an instant and was the Purge.
Mm-hmm.
And the Celestial Purge is our card of choice. And our Solitude over the Grief and the Flages. And we're just letting the rest of these go to the bottom to shuffle away and found again later.
It's really strong that it just gets shuffled back in.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it is,
really
isn't it?
good. Can you just pitch them? Like, if you play 4 Atraxas and deck yourself, like,
I would never.
yeah, I think you should just get punished. Like,
I think you
that's too many
specifically should get-
Atraxas.
And
You
now we
should
have the
lose.
Touch the Spirit Realm. This is going to allow us to keep this Atraxa after we go to combat. For 1 and a white, you can channel this to flicker something and it returns at end of turn. So here's the Atraxa returning on end step and re-triggering our Atraxa, and we get to keep it.
It's too good, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is a lot of magic for me, I think.
They
This
see too
this
much
this
magic.
deck magic too hard.
And see, we found an Ephemerate and a Grief, so we picked up a whole scam package, so we can kind of take a little peek at Ray's hand later.
All right, all right.
And Ray down to 5, and Isaac all the way up to 17. And Isaac with a grip of cards.
A grip of cards. I was about to say. I think he might need to go to discard here.
Well,
in a
we can
minute.
probably pitch cast the Solitude right here just to not lose cards.
Sure.
And deal with this Kavu that was already a little bit of an issue anyways. But I would just discard a Grief because who gives a dunk? Get that out of here.
Who gives a dunk?
Who? Not me. Look at all these cards
Not
in my hand.
Isaac. Back on Ray's turn now. Just a few cards in hand. Got this Leyline Binding sitting at the top, though.
It's a good one to be in that hand.
Stare and daggers at the Atraxa, I presume.
Yeah, that's a pretty good presumption.
I don't know if you've heard. She's really good.
I love her. I love her so much.
I know.
And Ray still saving the Tribal Flames in hand. But Atraxa is so big.
It's not enough damage, yeah.
Okay, this is so risky. So Ray is attacking, I think trying to bait an Atraxa block so that we can Flames it. The issue is I believe Isaac picked up an Ephemerate at one point here. And might be able to Ephemerate the Atraxa if we want. They're just memeing here as Ray discarded a Leyline of the Void and picked up a Leyline of the Void. I mean, that just happens. That just happens. If I'm Isaac, I think I just take 5 because Ray's either a madman or really trying to push something through. Either way, I don't think I can risk it.
Yeah. I feel like Isaac senses there's something, right? Doesn't he know about the Tribal Flames?
There's a Tribal Flame in the bin. I think that was the one we knew about.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Isaac. Oh, Isaac. Oh, yeah, we're blocking.
We'll do it.
And Ray looks to be binding no matter what here.
Does the Kavu have trample?
Nah. We always think it does because it gets it from Scion. So it feels like half the time it does have trample.
It's a green-red creature. I feel like it do.
If anything would have trample, a green-red creature would.
Yeah.
But Isaac here fetching, finding basic planes. Sure feels like an Ephemerate. I think it's gonna happen here. And look, there it is, the Ephemerate that was face up. Pop. Now, a thing that's very important, as our players are having a good time and joshing and joking and flipping and drawing cards, Isaac, you got 2 games to win, okay?
I know.
I'm just saying.
I was about to look at the clock.
I know we're vibing, but time's a dwindling. Kill your opponent.
Yeah. We're going to get a time check from our producer here
Yeah,
as well. They will have a few minute extension just because they are on feature. So getting them settled and everything puts them a couple minutes behind regular play. So we'll see where they're at here. Ray at 5, I feel like looking pretty dead in a second here. Has no answer to an Atraxa.
Yep. And you can choose not to cast your rebounded spell so that we have this Atraxa as an attacker.
Right.
And Isaac, push it forward.
Come on.
Push.
Swing.
Pusher.
Swing.
There we go. Nope.
You can't attack that. That's only for you.
Because Ray made Isaac protect it. So the joke is not landing here. Come on.
Really?
Damage.
Go
to damage. Go to damage, please.
Come on,
Thank
boys.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Confirmation they need to go to game 3, right? Yeah, so I don't know what they're joshing about. We need time. Let's go. Shuffle up and play.
Let's take a look at these deck lists while our players do so. We haven't had a chance to look at them just yet. Did we get them queued up, Bryce?
No, we're all good. You all need to see that. Because one of them will be in our most likely in our round 4 feature because one of these players will be undefeated.
That's a fair point. Yeah. I know we have Isaac's deck list submitted. I don't think Ray got his in.
We've already seen Isaac's. If you
I guess, yeah.
Go back to
pretty
round
stock.
1, take a peek at Valerie's, put a Bone Shards in it somewhere, and you've got what Isaac's playing here.
It could be anything.
I mean, this
It
is
could
true.
be a Bone Shards.
I mean, it is Bone Shards. That's the one thing we know that it is for surezies.
All right.
Ray just drawn 2 Leyline of the Voids in their opening hand and has quickly mulliganed it. So that's what's happening there.
I hope you guys are enjoying the stream tonight. It's good to be back after a week off. If you're enjoying the content, remember that we're live every Wednesday night. And if you can't remember, hit the follow button and it will remind you automatically
Yeah, that's a
every time
great
we go
point.
live.
That's a
Hit
great
that
point.
bell.
Ding.
We're also raising money for the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Everyone deserves to eat.
Everyone got to eat.
And that charity is really helpful getting food into the hands of those that need it. So if you've got any extra money to spare, don't give it to us, give it to the charity. We've raised over $2,000, which is truly an incredible thing to say. But every cent counts.
Isaac, stone cold. Look at him. I got this 7. I'm looking, I get what's up. Players now tied 1 game apiece. This is our game deciding game number 3. Ray on the play. Still found that ley line.
3 game actions.
And do a Zagoth Triumph. Throw it back to Isaac.
Here we go.
Now, Isaac, when I played this Goryo's deck, I played like a 4-color version that had leyline binding. I believe these Esper versions do not have any binding. So our answers to the leyline is less than you would think. I don't actually know if there's much outside of trying to prismatic ending for 4.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive there.
And we're going to grief scam.
Grief. We talked about this in round 1. Like, it's got this Goryo's package, but it's also just got the scam package.
All right.
Double grief is good.
This Scion is not fully prepared for Domain, but looks like we're going to take the Invasion of Urgamon, which allows Ray to kind of push towards his additional mana.
What a draw. Oh, wait, we don't have the we don't have the red.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and
we
the
don't
best
have the red.
The best part about Grief Ephemerate is you get 3 Thoughtseizes, not just 2, because now here on the rebound of the Ephemerate, we take the 3rd card. So what you saw Isaac do is take the 2 playable 2-drops, leave Ray with the 3, Ephemerate it, and take the 3-drop away.
Yep.
That's the perfect patterning.
Ooh.
And
Ephemerates.
the thing is Ephemerating Grief, perfect, because it doesn't interact with the Leyline of the Void, which would stop classic scam, right? The black cards that give Undying, that does be stopped by Leyline of the Void. But this, a matchup defined by Ephemerate, is not stopped in any way by the Leyline, and this Grief alone is taking 4 cards away from Ray.
Indeed. I think we gotta find a red source here. The swamp cycling. Yeah, there we go.
Yep. But the thing is, it takes the Kavu.
Yeah, but if you draw another Kavu, you'd hate to not grab a red source there.
Yep. And he gets played out for turn. Isaac, take it away. And we have our Celestial Purge, and we've got our 3-drop. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is...
Isaac won that last game. That was game 2. We'll update the pip there. Apologies. This is game 3 now.
Yep, no problem. Thank you so much, Shadow. Yeah, Isaac won the grindy game number 2, and here we are in 3. Doing the scam thing on the draw, really shredding Ray's hand apart.
There's the Purge targeting the Void, Leyline of the Void there.
And Isaac can do whatever they want now.
Yeah, Ray's in full top deck mode here.
Oh, yeah, Grief number 2.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Wait.
no, Ray. Oh, what a way to go out, man. Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh. Oops. Oh, oopsie whoopsie. You got Surveillant?
Yeah.
Yeah, Surveillant? Elegant
there you
Parlor.
Go.
All right.
Nice. Okay.
Now...
we got this. Ray's got him right where he wants him.
Now, the issue is these Griefs sure do have Menace, so Ray needs to put 2 creatures into play to be able to block one of them. Yep. This sounds sarcastic. It's not. I love Grief. This card.
Yeah, a Kavu's not good enough there.
Oh! This card's even worse. And the Griefs do be griefing. And again, you can do everything you want to this Esper Goryo deck to fight back against their grindy control graveyard plan, and sometimes they sure do have the scam draw. You saw Isaac snap off that 7 and stare into Ray's soul, and that's because that's the draw that we had in that game.
Yeah, quite the nuts draw there for Isaac. Great games from both of our players, though. It will go in Isaac's favor in 3 of round 3. Before we head into our 4th round, though, should I remind you, go join our Discord if you want to check out any of the deck lists that we featured tonight. Join the Discord and just ask any of our players. We have a bunch of channels for all of our different games that we offer. Trading channels, decklist discussion. Go check it out. We'd love to hang out with you. There's also on the business side of stuff where we post our pre-order and sales promotions first. That's the very first platform that we posted on. So if you want exclusive access to that, join our Discord.
What if I want to see the big cherry?
If you want to see the big cherry, go to Minneapolis on 420, baby. That's our very next series event.
I'll be there.
April 20th and 21st. We got Modern and Legacy. You know we got to bring you some Legacy, baby.
Haviva,
The
you
folks
chilling?
ask for it. We got it. I'm chilling?
You gonna be at the booth?
Of
You gonna be at the
course.
booth? I'll be out in the battlefield.
I'll be rooting for you.
We'll see you folks out playing Modern, playing Legacy. Legacy sponsored on the series? Forget about it.
Let's go, man. And of course, if you win that Modern Showdown, you magically
Qualify for
qualify.
NRG champs?
Of course, this year we're giving away $35,000 and an invite to the Pro Tour. And of course, if you win that showdown, you also get your very own custom token. Which one would you be? I think I'd be.
You're 1-1 hexproof merfolk. We've gone over this.
Oh, come on, man. I wanted to say it.
Well,
right.
sorry everyone, that's our time.
We're going to break. We'll be right back with round 4.
See y'all soon.
Welcome back, folks. We're in our last round here. We got our undefeated seated at the feature match table and ready to game. Valerie is back from her round 1 victory, and she is 3-0 now, playing that Goryo's list we've seen a few times tonight. And I think John is on Grixis Wizards. He usually plays Murktide, but he told the counterman that he's playing Grixis Wizards, so we'll see what we got in store here. These players get shuffled up. I don't know who's on the play here, but we'll see how this game goes. Is there a weekly Commander Night at NRG? There's 2, in fact. We got them on Mondays and Thursdays. Free to play promo packs to the winners of each pod. Come and jam. We got pre-cons all the way up to CEDH. All sorts of gamers to be had, and we'd love to help you pick out some cards for your deck as well at nerdragegaming.com.
I was working on a Yawgmoth CDH deck this morning.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's all. Valerie here starting off with a polluted
That's
Delta.
it. Just sharing.
Just sharing. It's pretty cool.
I've been meaning to build another commander deck because I think the one I have is too good, and I feel really bad when I beat people.
Dang, dude. Real gamer hours out here. You might as well be at the 3-0 undefeated pod like our players here.
I won on turn 4, which I've never done before with the deck. And I was like, I think I need to depower this or build a different deck.
And fun fact, folks, we got a prediction going in chat right now. So join in, play along. Who's going to win? Do it quick. We're getting scammed. Do it quick. Get your prediction in.
Oh, no. Hurry.
As we see.
It does look like Grixis
That's
Wizards.
Grizzy Wizzies for sure. 2 preordains and a Force of Negation. I'm getting that Force out of here. Out of here. Because it will just force your ephemerate. And then and then I will take the preordain with the second one.
Mm-hmm. Very cool looking. The preordains are from the Commander Lord of the Rings deck, and you got that oil slick swamp there as well.
We got that slick swamp.
Yeah, baby.
And a Takanuma. Ooh, a card. I love a Takanuma.
I love me a Takanuma. It's a free swamp.
Kind of. Except it's everything but a swamp.
Yeah.
As we see John.
Assume he's going to cast a preordain here.
Yep. Oh, okay, we've played the Watery Grave. And then playing out this preordain.
Here we go. Scry 2, draw a card.
Yeah,
Bottom both.
Yeah, we looked at the one unknown, the card we had drawn for turn. Didn't like any of those. And these are the cards that we have to work with. Toss it back to the power that is, if we want, this ephemerated grief for a 3rd Thoughtseize effect.
I think we do. I think
well,
John knows
John
it as
dropped
well.
his hand on the table. Do you want Shieldred or this Spell Pierce?
Dude, look at this deck. It's fancy.
Yeah, you like it, Secret Lair Showdown Spell Pierce, but let's get the Shieldred out of here.
That is really cool looking.
Yeah.
Are you envious? That sounded like a little.
This is the sound of me slowly being convinced to play this Goryo's deck, and I shouldn't be.
I mean, you said you have like a version of it already, right?
Yeah, I do. Oh
yeah,
no.
it'd be so easy. Like, just do it.
How did this go under the radar for so long? And then just sneak back in and do this to people.
I mean, the surveillance have to have helped it a ton, right?
I guess like it's so odd. All of these cards were here already.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just there are less Force of Negation in the format now, and we're feeling good to jam.
Yeah, I mean, we predicted, or I saw people predict that Yogg would be the most dominant deck along with Amulet Titan after the Rhino's nerf, right? And neither of those decks play counterspells.
I mean, that's true. I'll grief them to yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, love
this deck though. definitely plays some counter spells.
Yeah, but we took them all.
We did take them.
You can have your spell pierce. I'll have my grief. We'll see who wins.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like forcing your opponent to basically the only card they have to work with is the one per turn they draw off the top of their deck. There's such power to that. And I know
Absolutely.
it hurts as the opponent. And sometimes that's not like the coolest thing to watch, but it's unbelievably powerful to do.
Yeah.
And we kind of got away from it for a long time. And now this Goryo's deck picked up in popularity.
Mm-hmm.
And now the main blue deck got pushed out of here, just shoved out of the room, just in time for this to start really just getting people.
Yeah, Grixis Wizards, though, is on the tier list, technically, if you follow Mangu, right?
Ooh.
It's sitting down there in C tier, I believe. But it's
Hey.
relevant, and he's not even the only player in the room that plays Grixis
No.
Wizards. Kai plays it, too. It's
The combination
deck.
of Flame of Lenore, Snapcaster, Tashana's Tidebinder, no joke.
gas.
The combination of Grief, Ephemerate, also not a joke.
I would say really, really darn good.
Yeah. So, and even just continuing through, we are now using our Faithful Mending to start like churning through our hand to start making our land drops. That's the only thing holding Valerie back, because we've just had kind of the 2 lands we started this game with. We're going to mark off for the side. You see this Faithful Mending just off the side showing this is a flashback card available to our graveyard.
Mhm.
Great way to kind of make it very obvious to not only yourself, but your opponent as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As someone in chat noted, Valerie does have an aide with her. She has some mobility issues and some visibility issues, so he's there to make sure she has the most
Yeah.
accessible way to play Magic possible.
And it rules.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that we were able to accommodate her. I was nervous because, like, I was worried we would have to move like a lot of cameras around, but it's actually very
Nope,
easy to get her
easy,
into
no
the
problem.
feature match area. So yeah, here
So now
she
you see
is.
Valerie crushing people.
Here she is crushing fools with this Goryo deck. Sick. No offense, John. We appreciate having you in the feature match area too. Give her a good fight, you know?
As we see quick tabs here, the archaeologist. Oh yeah. Digging deep. Oh no, an ephemerate? Snap it. Take
I mean,
it.
yeah, that's a legal target. We'll take the one there. The other
Yeah.
2 are lands.
It's so good. Mill those over. Just like this Goryo's deck has the ability to operate kind of on this low mana because it's a trimmed down version. I was saying but between rounds, I used to play a version of this that had Fable and Leyline Binding and the One Ring and just a lot of like chunky, like high mana cost cards.
Mm-hmm.
And this version of the deck is like 1s, 2s, and Evoke card. And like
It's slim.
It's slim. Yeah,
Yeah.
like no joke slim.
Yeah, I mean, Philology Archaeologist isn't the card you might think of when you. It's a really good engine though. It's only 2 mana. It gets you the card you need. Put stuff in the bin.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good card.
Like if it reads 2 mana, block a Ragavan, mill an Atraxa, find your Goryos. If it said I do all 3 of these things on a regular basis, I'd be like, wow, that sounds great. That's what this card does.
Indeed.
And at a minimum, it finds your ephemerates and digs super deep and sets all of that up for you. And gives your opponent like a turn and a half to interact with you before you just like truly push your foot onto the gas pedal, throw Atraxas or Grizzlebrands in play, and tell them answer this or die.
All right, John will surveil a Steam Vents there. Is already at 13, which has to be from all of his different lands.
Yeah, the mana base.
Wow, okay.
And we got hit by a grief twice, which sure does help getting smacked around by a grief.
Yeah, still open knowledge about the Spell Pierce and the Takenuma. Two hidden cards off his last couple of draws there.
I would wonder if this Goryo's deck could sneak one Takenuma in here.
Yeah.
I would like to. I'm gonna think about it.
It's interesting. I don't think they play too many basics.
Nope.
So yeah, it's an Esper deck. There's green for something.
Hard casting Atraxa.
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah,
just
yeah.
this, and it allows you to get the 4th color for your prismatic ending if you need to kill off like a shield druid or something.
Sure.
In the form of this hedge maze now. As a Snapcaster, maybe one of the best wizards available.
Yeah.
If you're playing Grixis Wizards, this is the wizard you're looking for. And we're going to push the Archaeologist.
Sure. Why not? I don't think that push is hitting many other creatures in the deck.
But
so might
time
as
to
well.
ephemerate it, and then this ephemerate gets spell
The
pierce. You can see Valerie kind of had the like, yep, oh yeah, right, you had that moment. We have all been there of just like interacting to, oh right, you had that counter spell. Totally forgot. No worries, we'll keep going.
All right, now we can send this Snapcaster into the red zone there, knock Valerie down to 17 to John's 13 here.
And now
But
the
the
thing
Spell
is,
Pierce is out of the hand now, so now
Mhm.
we could. I think she missed a land drop
we've
as
been missing a
well.
bunch of them.
Yeah.
The thing is, if we can find our third land drop, we can use these Faithful Mendings in our graveyard and find the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we did, in fact, find this Flooded Strand as our drop return.
There we go. That's good. Goryo's is only 2 mana.
Correct the Mundo.
But yeah, those Spell Pierces can help with paying for the tax there. And of course, sometimes you want to play more than one
Mhm.
spell a turn.
I imagine this Flooded Strand will most likely find an untapped basic. Oh, and it does look like we're on the hunt. I'm feeling Island in my bones. But we're thinking. Because we'd be looking at possible responses. We may have drawn I think, our 2 of Force of Negation. We could search up Island and hardcast that here, deal with this Preordain if we felt like it. But something is incentivizing us to make actions here on our 3rd point of mana. Getting the Hallowed Fountain instead, same deal, getting a blue source, but looking for an untapped multicolored dual land version. What are we so enticed by this Preordain? Let me know what it is. Slam it down.
I'm sure we'll see in a second here. No worries, no worries.
Back
Jamming.
to the tank. Doing a little think-skadoo.
I feel like if you've already decided to fetch and shock, you would.
We're letting it resolve.
Interesting. Okay. John, quite the face there. Looking at these 2 cards, scrying off the Preordain.
Mm-hmm. Oh, John, that was a very pained expression, and then a double bottom there on that Preordain, and picking up the 3rd mystery card as our draw off it. Getting with the snap.
Bryce, who's ahead in the prediction, by the way?
Great question.
Who,
I would love to know.
Who do the chatters favor in this matchup?
Here's this end step flashback of the Faithful Mending.
Valerie,
favoring
90 to 10. Wow.
Sheesh.
All right.
Well, this deck does rule.
It's very strong. We've definitely seen that tonight. I think I would like to see this deck go up against counterspells, though.
No.
I want to see what happens.
Get counterspells out of here. What's the worst that could happen if you let everyone run free?
No, I think maybe we should interact with our opponent's spells a little bit, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why you would think such a thing,
That's
but okay.
crazy.
Valerie, like I said, using our mana there, flashing back that Faithful Mending, looting through, discarding like high-powered cards such as the Solitude that we dropped there, and it looks like we might be missing our 4th land drop, but throwing it back. But this deck can basically function on 3 land, no problem. As a Snappy getting in there, doing what Snapcaster does best, which is trying to attack just 10 times.
I think it does some things better.
Okay, well,
I think it does have a very relevant text box, but it does happen to be a creature too.
Yeah, usually it's aided by Bolt, Snap, Bolt, but sometimes you gotta do it manual mode, I guess. I gotta imagine John's got 4 bolts in here, right? That's gotta be a part of that Grixis Wizards package.
Absolutely. Lightning bolts, 10 out of 10 card.
Valerie here using a Faithful Mending once again, discarding another Faithful Mending, just kind of keeping the engine going, but gaining life every time. Faithful Mending on top of its draw 2, drop 2, you gain 2 life as well.
Yeah, lots of different things on that card. It's draw 2, discard 2, gain 2, right?
Yeah.
It's 2/2.
2/2.
Yeah.
For 2.
For
and
2.
then for 3.
And then yes. Wouldn't it be cool if like, well, I guess like Memory Deluge already does that, but I was saying like a card that when you flash it back, it gets better.
Yeah. Deluge does do that.
Deluge does that already. Yeah, it's a very good card.
Here we have the Philology Archaeologist, a card I'm a big fan of, getting hit by the Tashana's Tidebinder.
A card I'm a big fan of.
The other wizard. If you're playing Grizzy Wizzies, this is the other one.
Have an 0/3.
Yeah. Take your 0/3, no ability. I'll take my 3/2. Now, the thing is, this does kind of shut down the aggro that the Snapcaster is trying to apply.
No. Yeah, but the Tidebinder
does it now, too.
Has that extra point.
And, yeah, it can fight through this Philology as well.
I mean, you might as well swing both, right?
Right, because it allows Valerie less choice, right? Their choice is either trade off and then you still take 2, or absorb and take 3. So it basically allows John the chance to possibly push for more damage if Valerie would like them to. So kind of no reason not to push.
Yeah, I feel like John's able to just put a lot more pressure on Valerie because of these missed land drops as she hits a basic plains here for her 4th.
But yeah, I think a part of John's plan is most likely we're holding one, maybe two counter spells, just kind of hoping to answer everything Valerie plays and let these wizards slowly pluck away at the life total.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll see her tap 2 mana here. Could be another archaeologist.
It's the
No, it'll be a
Indulgence.
tainted indulgence
We're
this
digging deep,
time.
and we've just heard so many cards. This Indulgence might just be on draw two mode. Yeah, you see us checking. Tainted Indulgence kind of looks for Super Delirium, but for mana cost, it looks if you have 6 different mana
I think that's the
costs.
Binding of Isaac boss. Super delirium.
Dang, I don't know any of these words, but if you have 6 different mana costs in your yard, Tainted Indulgence is draw 2, discard none.
Hmm.
So that's why I think we did a real quick check there of how many different mana values we did have, just to see do we need to drop cards from this or if it's just a true draw 2.
Right, usually you're happy in this Goryo's deck to discard the card, and it's not a may or may not, right?
Yeah,
It's a
once
check
you
and you
meet the
gotta follow
criteria,
it either way.
which is a little, a little bit of a downside. That's why you see a lot of decks kind of leaning on the faithful mending, maybe on like a 4-3 split or
Hmm.
whatever. Just the mending being slightly better and having flashback. But the fact that Indulgence is draw 2, discard 1 a lot of the time allows you to actually net a card while using it,
Hmm.
which can be helpful as Flame of Anor, the wizard payoff for having your wizards, shows up, kills an archaeologist, and draws 2.
Yeah, the other spell for Valerie's turn was another archaeologist, which got stern scolding
Ugh,
by John.
I'm so sorry, Falaji.
Get out of here.
Falaji, the name of the people living in the desert of Dominaria.
Hmm.
Very indicative of the Fremen and Dune. Shout out people at the movies lately.
Dude,
As
I haven't gone
Oh,
yet.
well, these Wizzies getting in here for 5. Valerie down to 6. John, now would be a good time to draw that Bolt Snap Bolt and put this game away.
Dang, this Snapcaster actually getting in for a decent amount of damage here. I think it's done like 6
Yeah, the
so far.
Tidebinder has definitely helped
Oh,
really
yeah.
rocket the clock up,
Hmm.
doing the other 6 in like quick succession. But the two of them have worked together very well.
Yep. Got
The
5
Odawara.
damage a turn here. Odawara's land for turn. We'll tap
Yep.
out 4, looks like.
And John, I don't know if John remembers, we have this Takanuma that's in our hand,
Hmm.
kind of sitting here on the table.
Right.
I don't know. We've spent a lot of turns not using our mana. I wonder if John may have forgotten about this joyous Takanuma waiting here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're good to just chill. Valerie does have a lot of instant speed stuff.
4 mana? Grief?
Oh, sure.
John, you want to get griefed?
No, he will say
Counterspell.
no. Magic
That's
Con.
counterspell.
Ooh, very nice
counterspell.
looking counterspell there.
And Valerie's done.
You think
Valerie's done
so? I think
Yeah.
that's a scoop right there.
Yeah, because it looked like we took a little extra damage there, went down to 4, which means just now we're on board lethal. We can flashback a Faithful Mending, but we tapped out for this grief instead. And that's just our life total with lethal on board. And we're scooping it off on to game number 2.
All right, we'll go into sideboards here and check out deck list. This is Valerie's full 75 that she submitted, so we'll take a look at what she's working with in her sideboard. We have Subtlety, Prismatic Ending, Thoughtseize, Dam, Get Lost, Force of Negation, and those ever-present Cursed Totems.
This is interesting, right? Because this Grixis Wizards deck is a combination of, it seemed like 8 creatures, just your snaps and your Tidebinders,
Mm-hmm.
and a pile of spells.
Right.
So I kind of do feel like I do and don't want these Force of Negations. So like a part of the reason Violent Outburst, rest in peace, got banned is because on your opponent's turn, you can do your thing and have Force of Negation backed up for free.
Right.
Goryo's Vengeance, being an instant speed, can allow this same play pattern of doing on your opponent's turn and having it backed up by free counter magic.
Mm-hmm.
If your opponent's deck is 8 creatures and a pile of counter magic, I think I want to fight back.
Absolutely. I think Force Negation is really good here. I think just continuing to put pressure on John's hand as well. So I think these Thought Seizes actually
Yes.
are pretty strong to include as well.
I imagine if I'm looking like real quick at this deck, I might just cut the 4 Solitudes, which feels a little weird because the card's so powerful. But if I swap these for 2 Forces, 2 Thought Seizes, and just try to push my plan,
I think
Solitude,
that's solid, yeah.
it feels odd, right? Because this card is so powerful, but your opponent has so few creatures that they're actively working with that
Mhm.
Solitude loses a lot of its text. And I think we can pick up a lot of game by turning those into Forces and Thought Seizes.
There is, and I don't know if Valerie is aware of it, the sort of honorary wizards that Grixis Wizards tends to include.
Bowmaster
so,
and Shieldred.
yeah, Shouldred is the one that I'm more worried about.
Let's check on them. Let's see if they're here.
Yeah, I don't think John has submitted a deck list So we're
Wow.
grabbing on.
I was trying to throw it,
Yeah.
trying to throw it.
Look, Bryce even gave him the gave him credit too and put his name up there, but this is just a goldfish. This is just a goldfish
Mm,
deck list here. We'll take a look at this example sideboard. We got Brazen Borrower, Subtlety, Cast into
oh.
the Fire, Go for the Throat, Negate, Unmoored Ego, Damnation, Engineered Explosives, Alpine Moon, Stone of Eric, and Dress Down.
Okay. I don't know if it's true, but if you do have access to Brazen Borrower, it's a great answer to your opponent trying to cheat a big fat creature into play. Is letting them like go through some of the efforts and then just bouncing into their hand. Like let that rot there in your hand instead.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to like flicker your Atraxa, you're like, no, put it in your hand. Deal with it being there. Not the worst, much
It's
better
not the
than
worst thing. I mean, Atraxa having an ETB resolve is
yes.
still
But
very
if they're
good.
if they're about to ephemera and you get two more of them,
Very fair.
I'll be like, I'd rather you pick
Yeah,
that up.
absolutely.
If we're maybe like if I'm a deck that has negate, straight up negate in our sideboard,
Mm-hmm.
the hardest part about sideboarding against this Espergorio deck, there's kind of three pieces, right? There's
Three.
there's a scam package.
Right.
There's just their like good interaction of just like looting through my deck and finding these like bindings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scam plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's kind of these three different things going on, and it's hard when you bring in your sideboard stuff because you're trying to deal with one of the three problems.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue is the other two or other one might just take you out of the game anyways.
That's the nice thing about this Grixis pile, though, right? Is that counterspell.
Just straight up counterspell.
Counterspell
Exactly.
works against anything, right? Negate is obviously non-creature, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we saw Valerie get up to 7 mana and hardcast an Atraxa. So that
Yes,
is a
we
thing
did.
that happens. If we got Dress Down, though, that's an interesting card.
Yeah, Dress Down is incredible. If Dress Down
Yeah.
is in your deck
We
list
haven't
somewhere,
seen that card in a minute. That
Oh,
card's really good.
yeah, there's some yeah, it's
I
weird.
mean, I think maybe it's confirmation bias and that we don't see it on feature a lot. I think it's
Yes.
still played
Yes.
a bunch.
And I think the more this Goryo's deck picks up, the more the number of Dress Downs will pick up. So
Mhm.
if you got them, flaunt them.
I
This
mean,
is the time.
It's good against Yawgmoth. It's good against Amulet Titan. It's
And
good
it's good
against
against Goryo's.
Goryo's.
Shoot, that's a good sideboard card. That's a good call.
Seems fire. It draws a card too.
Yeah,
Yes.
seems fire. Good choice. Hey, pick up your Dress Downs.
Yep. No, Bryce
Oh,
shaking his head.
Sorry. Yeah, actually, Bryce and I would actually really love if you did not.
As
have
as
those.
an Amulet and Boggles player,
Yeah.
man does not
Yeah.
like that Dress Down.
Dress Down is a card that I lose to a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm sure production can agree. Doesn't matter if I'm sneaking a Grizzlebrain or sneaking a Titan. Dress Down kills me both ways.
All right, yeah. You can still play Boggles in like Pauper, right?
Sure.
There's no Dress Down in Pauper. Go do that.
Yeah, we're looking.
Oh no, I'm
we're-
not gonna repeat that.
We're looking at this Grixis deck. The other thing that maybe could apply is this sideboard has card like Go for the Throat. Not bad. Kill off whatever the fatty is.
Yeah.
Unmoored Ego, remove Goryo's Vengeance, the card from the deck. Not a bad choice. The thing is like you said, I think the power of this Grixis deck is the fact that it will literally just have the card counterspell, and it will counterspell whatever problem you put in front of it. And we saw it was main decking Stern Scolding. Your options in this deck to Stern Scold is the Archaeologist, Grief, and Solitude. If you feel like those are cards that you do want the answers to, you can have the Stern Scolding, or that might be a card worth shaving to bring in your more impactful sideboard cards if you do have them. It's like forbid you have something like a Surgical Extraction, like a really powerful sideboard card, or like a Leyline of the Void. If you got like a big hit of a sideboard card, might be worth it, especially if we believe might be trimming on Solitude or something.
For sure. All good points there. Let's head back into the action here, though.
Yeah,
No?
they're just hanging. We got the leaderboard. Can we flash
We've
that
got-
up? I saw you
yeah,
had it.
It's not the updated one, I don't think.
That was too bad. Well, I mean, Valerie's looking to climb today.
Yeah, she's
right?
sitting at that 8th spot. John a little bit newer to the scene, not quite
Yeah.
up there yet.
Yeah, John joined us a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but we're looking to do more leagues after this. If
yeah.
if you're sitting at home and you're like, man, what's the point of coming now when they're so deep into league? We're doing
Yeah,
more of
maybe
these.
Late April, early May. Maybe take a few weeks off after this
I'm
one.
still feeling out when we're going to start the next one. Obviously, that will be announced before we do so. I'd like to give people time off so that, because the league encourages consistent gameplay, I want to let people take a break.
Yeah, for sure. And we had unofficial meme week last week
I
when we were
know.
off camera.
I want to do. I
Um,
want to do a full meme week too, where there's no points on the line.
yeah, might be a great way, a palate cleanser post league.
Yeah, yeah. Or let people try out different decks if they feel like they've been
Yeah,
shoehorned into just playing a good
yeah.
deck, the
Do
best deck,
do a
whatever.
couple weeks off at minimum, and then
Mhm.
come back strong.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like some fun build incentives too, like actually,
Ooh,
that
all
kind of
right.
thing. We do it for like Commander, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, when the new set comes out, play with a Commander from that set, that
Oh,
kind of
yeah. If
thing.
it's like play new cards,
Yeah, or maybe what if we did like,
and
I
if
think it was Doomwake did like pure modern, like a
yeah,
pure
oh
modern
jeez,
tournament.
yeah, you'd see a lot of your favorite cards not show up.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do some fun stuff like that in between our modern leagues
If
here.
but if folks have ideas in chat or shoot a message in Discord, if you've got like fun modern deck build stipulations, we might have a couple
Yeah.
weeks for fun stuff.
Yeah, we'll obviously still be streaming those even if we aren't doing league proper. So yeah, come along for the ride. As
Yeah,
we shuffle up here,
because
John will be on the draw against Valerie, looking to complete her 4-0 here.
I would like to say I'm very excited with Outlaws of Thunder Junction to start committing crimes.
Yeah, I
We about to be criming.
I asked Norm if I could use the company card to buy cowboy hats for Minneapolis.
Ooh,
I
and
just wanted to feel
yeah,
be a little on theme for
like
the events.
let's talk about this Gorios deck and this Grixis Wizards deck. They committed so many
They're
crimes.
committing so
There's
many
so
crimes.
many crimes
Oh my
happening.
gosh. How dare you
Like
target my stuff? That's a
like
crime.
the crime count is at least 10 each. Like a lot of crimes be
Straight to
happening.
jail.
Yeah. On your 10th crime, you must go to jail.
Do not pass go.
Everyone knows that's a system. You nine you're good, but the 10th crime,
Oh man. It's a 10,
oh
10 strike
yeah.
system.
John, you looking to commit a crime? You trying to thought seize someone?
Mm-mm. I don't know. That watery grave screams.
Preordain. I'm thinking preordain.
He
And
honestly, I was gonna say scream something. There's quite
oh
a few deck cards in his deck.
yeah, I mean yeah, Remy in chat, we've been committing a lot of crimes. Yeah, I've been playing Magic for 15 plus years. I've committed a lot of crimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Thoughtseize, crime alert. Wii U, crime alert. Crime count 1.
Get him out of here.
Yo, this
Cuff
is the
him.
best. Use the aid, just spin it around. Take a peek.
There you go. Yeah.
I see a Gorios. I'm taking a Gorios. I don't know what the rest of the hand is.
I love how John has such great facial expressions. He's like,
Yeah.
oh gosh.
The face cam. One of the best additions. Shout out to the production, the budgeting
Mhm.
around here. Getting the face cams really does rule.
Oh yeah, we're up to what, like 8 cameras?
Oh yeah, here we
10,
go.
10 if
Here we
we
go.
do hand cams.
Look at this use of technology. John snapping a photo of a thought seized hand. Be like, wow, your deck rules. Tucking the phone back away. Just lots of goods going on here as we commit this crime.
All right, we'll see what he picks here.
And
Now Gorio seems like
yeah,
a good one.
Gorios is the only card we can see, but it might be the only card John's looking for.
Yeah. I mean, there's this
Oh,
irritating thing, right, about Gorio's where you don't want, like, if she has an
Mhm.
Atraxa in hand,
yeah.
you're helping her out by
Yep.
making her pitch
We
it,
snap
right?
the Gorios. All right. A thing that if y'all aren't legacy gamers, you may not know about. Valerie in this deck is playing Thoughtseize and Goryo's Vengeance, right?
Yeah.
You can Thoughtseize yourself. Choose your fat, put it in the yard, and then
L-
Goryo's it back.
Legacy? I see that all the time in Pioneer when I play
Well,
Grease Fang.
Ooh, I do love the Fang. I love
I
the Fang.
hate the Fang.
Okay.
What do you
I can't believe you would say that about that beautiful woman and her biker gang.
I'm the Angels player, all right? I get the Angels, not
Yes.
you. Those are
As
mine.
we see, the power of the surveillance. Valerie had to take turn 1 off, got thought seized. A lot of actions here that are kind of putting you on the back foot. The surveillance allow you to kind of manipulate the card you're going to draw for turn, try to get back on the front foot.
Thank you for interrupting my rant
Of course.
into Grease Fang. That really needed to be headed off.
Oh, look at this. Surveillance tracks into the yard. Oh, we're cooking with gas. Good thing you took that Gorios, John. Rip a Gorios. Rip one. Rip it. Rip a Gorios, please.
Yeah, just play it at sorcery speed while he's tapped out. Seems
Yeah.
good.
No joke. Gain your 7 life. Push.
Oh, playing the Hallowed Fountain tapped.
Yep, a big
Signals
indicator.
a lot.
Yeah, means we don't have much to do.
Go
But-
to John's turn here. I see a Tishana's Tidebinder in hand. He'll play another Thoughtseize, though.
Crime number 2, alert. Wii U, Wii
Just start putting, like, X's on
U.
the screen every time.
X crime. As we see, there's Valerie's Force of Negation taken by John here.
That's a good card.
That Force would have committed a crime, so we got to get that out of here, too.
Just start handing out little, like...
You have committed a crime.
Yeah.
You've committed a crime.
Get, like, a rap sheet
yeah.
for your opponent.
So I hope in the Alice Thunder Junction, like, token page, now they do a lot of the punch-outs lately. I hope they have one that says, like, a crime has been committed this turn.
Oh, that'd be
so
great.
that you can just, like, constantly take this out of your deck box, like, so everyone is aware a crime has been committed here. A crime has been committed here. A crime has been committed here. Build a whole commander deck that's just, like, only crimes.
Oh my gosh, what if we made, like a photo shoot, like a backdrop with, like, bars or something? People could be like...
That'd be great for pre-release. That's a good idea. Let everyone do the I've committed a crime.
I'm gonna write that down. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get backdrop at like the dollar store, no
Easy.
problemo. And we see John here getting their Thundering Falls again, busted Surveil Land, a time walk, if you will.
Time walk. You really that's
they're good.
That's
Think about it. If you had to draw the top card and the top card was bad, that would have been a whole wasted turn. You mill it over, you draw the next card, that's a time walk. You skipped it. Took an extra turn there. I don't understand the confusion. That's the time walk. They're not that good. They're just very good at filling your curve. I think that's the part that...
It's very high praise.
Yeah. I think what's very important is you don't notice how many turns of Modern you took off just getting a tapped fetch land or getting a Triome. And the fact that you can just convert those and give, like, a 5% quality boost, right?
For
like,
sure.
The fact that you just have this, like, tucked down Surveil. John clearly didn't want to draw that Spell Pierce. Milled it over and gets to draw something else.
I feel like Spell Pierce is really good here.
Yeah, maybe we're short on lands, just trying to make sure that we like make sure we hit all of our land drops. I agree, Spell Pierce might be good.
Maybe we just have Counterspell Proper or something.
Right.
And the thing is, Tidebinders.
And John does know more information than us. John has seen Valerie's hand. We didn't quite get to see it on screen.
Right.
So John's got a lot more information that they are working with.
Yeah, maybe he's seeing some like griefs or solitudes still in in her hand there.
And Valerie here able to use the Faithful Mendings, kind of shuffled through, did a Loot Scoot Boogie, draw some, drop some. Beautiful Swamp incoming. We're at our 3 mana. This is kind of the point where this deck can cast most of its deck outside of the Elementals proper. But this is the Goryo's plus Ephemerate mana amount. Once you're at 3, this is the mana you need to start getting that stuff going.
Yep, absolutely. Excuse me. Hey, Bryce. Can you ban the chatter?
Get these people out of here.
Get this spammer out of here.
As we have this beautiful Oil Slick Island coming in here for John. Getting our untapped mana, showing that we're at least in need of something, right? That requires not getting additional busted Surveillance, but instead of getting the untapped island. You said he spotted maybe 2 Tidebinders in their hands, so it could be what's up.
No, he's got the really pretty borderless ones, so they're easy to see.
Beautiful. Yeah, no one speak ill. These are its rule from LCI.
Yeah, someone's got the I don't know if it was Tishana's Tidebinder because there's a few with the same borderless aesthetic to it, but someone's got the playmat with one of the borderless, and it looks so it looks so sick.
I think we're flashing this Tidebinder, just getting our beater in play, and Valerie.
I've had to do that.
Oh yeah,
I did it against Bryce.
This card still just beats people up as we're flashing back our Faithful Mending.
No, I lost that game. It sucked. He plays Domain.
It still attacks for 3.
It do.
It do.
And if we got a second one, yeah, we only really need one. I would say a 7/7. Well, no, sorry. What are Atrax's stats? It is 7. It is 7/7. Yeah. So
Vigilance, Trample,
a
Haste,
blank
Lifelink.
7/7.
Nope, Flying Lifelink.
Yeah, still good.
Yeah, 7/7 no text, still a 7/7.
Yep.
But the fact that it doesn't get the ETB or any of its abilities are relevant to have as a part of what's going on here.
We'll finish resolving that Faithless Mending there, banning a Subtlety, and
Which
I think another Faithless Mending.
And interesting that and I've seen 2 Grizzlebrands and a Trax in the yard too. We can't count out how stacked it is in there.
What is that Grizzlebrand art?
Oh, that's the foil etch Liliana's Contract Secret Lair.
Oh.
I snapped that one off. It's gorgeous. It's all 4 for demons and Liliana's Contract.
Oh, from the contract. Got it.
Yep.
Yo, a little bit of lore that I learned from the Spice Rack video.
and the secret card in that secret layer was a stained glass Liliana.
Oh,
So the full 6 was Lily, Contract, and all 4 demons.
I love that.
As we see the second Tidebinder, this is the aggro squad, right? We're just going to try to attack
Apparently.
for 6 over and over and hold up our counter magic.
If they counter the ETB, wouldn't they just
Yes.
ephemerate?
But your opponent didn't draw 4 to 5, 6, 7 cards or whatever. Contextualizing the worst thing that can happen, but also remember you got to stop at least something.
For sure, yeah. Thoughtseize from Valerie here. We'll see 2 Fluster Storms
And a
and a
Terminate.
Terminate.
We got a pile of interaction, and this Thoughtseize takes the thing that is different, right? This is some of your Thoughtseize theory,
Yep.
right? Is sometimes when you see a hand, it's worthwhile to take the thing you can't beat or the thing that is different. What's interesting is I feel like we have some interest in taking these Fluster Storms. It's going to be so hard to resolve spells on our low mana count because this Fluster at a minimum right now is kind of on Spell Pierce mode, right? As long as it's an instant or sorcery, you'll have to pay at least 2 for it.
Yeah. Especially with the missed land drops here. I mean, John has the mana to just cast both Fluster Storms, right?
Valerie with another Thoughtseize, though, really trying to... And this is the thing, too.
Whoa!
I assume we didn't know about that. Yeah, I would let this resolve if I was John, because now the 2 cards you draw are a part of the Thoughtseize.
Oh,
But now we've cast 3 cards, and this Fluster can counter the Thoughtseize. So you see John thinking. Because what's really important here is now, because we have cast a second spell, the Fluster could have been the 3rd spell.
Now we see one of his sideboard cards potentially get hit here in this Stone of Eric.
Yeah, and I think the Flusters might also be sideboard. You know, a classic card for Rhinos that means something in other matchups.
Yeah. The Stone of Eric will be the pick there. Go down to 9 on Valerie's side to John's 11.
Valerie taking the counter spell here.
Oh,
right?
okay.
The card that's difficult for you to beat, right? We said that one of the powers of the Wizards deck is it just has straight up counter spell against you.
Down to 3 in bolt range here for Valerie with this double Tidebinder attack.
Are we gonna loot through this stone to try to find the bolt? Nope, we're just gonna play it out.
Oh my gosh. And that's it? Is that it?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard because your Gorios can't resolve through this Fluster and
Yeah.
not through double Fluster.
I feel like we didn't see the full strength of Valerie's deck against the Wizard deck.
Yeah, we got
She got landlocked both games.
Absolutely, landlocked is a great way to put it. And you move through the deck a lot. We just saw a lot of the motion. Yeah. Shout out to the prediction. This is going to the non-believers.
Give me my points. Oh, that's a juicy payout there.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, big shout outs, take it, River. But this Goryo's deck was the menace of this day for us, right? 2 players out here
absolutely
going wild on it, and we've seen its popularity across just online metas. It's been picking up lately. It was crushing RCs. Looks to do well here, and I imagine it's going to be doing well in the weeks to come, but it's Grixis Wizards Day.
Yeah, Grixis Wizards takes home the 4-0. Valerie with a great finish herself. It was 3-1. Will gain some very important points in the points race of our Modern League here in Week 10. Reminder that top 8 gets paid out. She's in that bottom spot, so hoping to at the very least maintain or grab a bigger piece of that pie by moving up some spots as well. That is the finale of our feature match coverage for tonight. Before we head out, let me remind you of just a quick couple of things. If you enjoy our coverage here, make sure to hit that follow button. That is the biggest way to support us. That lets us know that we're doing a good job and reminds you to come back next week when we go live with more fantastic Modern coverage. If you want to play in-store, we offer 5 different games currently with which to get your game on. Wednesday is Modern. Thursday is Commander Night and Pokemon. We will be streaming post-rotation format tomorrow with our Pokemon team, so check in for that. Friday is Double Magic with FNM Standard and Legacy, as well as One Piece. Saturday is our Digimon League. Monday is our other Digimon Day, No League, so get in for a little more casual play there, as well as our other Commander Night. Tuesday has Pioneer being replaced by Lorcana and our One Piece League, so lots of good gaming to be had there. We have lots of fun special events as well, case tournaments, pre-releases, all that good stuff. So follow us on socials, especially Discord, Facebook, and Twitter to get updates on when those are going on. Speaking of our Discord, here's a QR code. Scan it with your phone. Go check it out. You can ask questions of any of our players if you want to game with them, if you want to ask them about their deck list of tonight. Check out sales, promotions, and all that goodness there. If you're looking to play some competitive Magic, though, not that this isn't competitive, but this is got some higher stakes to it. We're giving away over $15,000 in just over a month in Minneapolis for 20 and 21st. 10K Modern Showdown, the winner of which automatically qualifies for that coveted championship. The winner of that going to the Pro Tour. And of course, for our lovely Legacy folks, we haven't forgotten about you. There's a full 5K Legacy trial for you on Sunday. I'm going to be there. Dom's going to be there.
I'm gonna be jamming.
We'd love to see you there
I'll be
as
making some
well.
cherry jam with the big
Some
cherry.
cherry jam. What is the cherry thing
No,
again?
it's a monument, I believe, in Minneapolis. You'll see on all the slides for the series, kind of local landmarks on them. The big cherry seems to be Minnie's things. I can't wait to find out.
Apparently. So go check it out while you're there. Do a little touristy stuff there too. But thank you so much for joining us, folks. It was lovely to be back after a week off. I'm so happy you could join us. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.
See y'all soon.